if you go out with a chick, right? And then you don't want to physically have sex with her, but you go out with her because of her intellect, and you only use her for her intellect, and then you know, but you're not like her boyfriend or anything. You only hang out with her because you want the intellectual stimulation, but then you have physical relations with other people. Is that equivalent to using her for sex or not?
Ooh la ma.
You know what I'm saying? Right.
And like his critique of all the pop culture movies and all.
Yeah.
That's good shit, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're rolling. Give a clap, Haresh. Give a clap to sync shit up. Okay. Alright.
Alright, let's see. So get my stuff out of my pocket because I'm ready to have some intense conversation.
Sure, man. If you want any more food or coffee or anything, just say.
Listen, man. I am set. Haresh, Terence,
Awesome.
I'm set.
Cool, man.
So, what's up? How's life?
In the house.
Okay, so
started, man.
like when was the last time, right, you had a long conversation with someone?
A long conversation with someone. I have long conversations with my girlfriend now. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the times I try to engage her in some kind of deep, intellectual debates. I try my best to. Here's the thing, man. Like, okay, let's say, right. This has been a question that I've been asking my friend recently. Like, if you go out with a chick, right, and then you don't want to physically have sex with her, but you go out with her because of her intellect, and you only use her for her intellect, and then but you're not like her boyfriend or anything. You only hang out with her because you want the intellectual stimulation, but then you have physical relations with other people. Is that equivalent to using her for sex or not?
Ooh la ma.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Is that to you? Is that equivalent to using her for sex?
Because to me, my first thought not equal because by having an intellectual conversation, right? I think you can only have an intellectual conversation if both parties are participating.
Sure.
So that's where I feel that. Oh fuck! But the
Dude,
same
what kind of
argument
sex
can
you
be-
have where only one person participating, bro?
Hey.
Fuck.
Sex can be one-sided. Can be one-sided.
Okay.
Yeah, like, but okay. So wait, then by that rationale, if two people are having great sex, you can still be using her for sex, right? Oh, shit lah.
Right. I think it's the same, man. I think it's the same. If like, I think a woman would expect you. If you want it, you have to have the whole thing, man. You can't just have one and ciao, bro.
Okay, but on that note, right, wouldn't you say that a girl is more willing to have an intellectual conversation with anyone than to have sex with anyone?
Depends on what girl, bro. Influencer,
true
maybe
lah.
not. Not all influencers though. Some influencers are fucking smart. Ross is so smart. Ross, Chia, smart. You know, a lot.
Now you're saving yourself already.
No.
You dug yourself a hole.
No. I'm just Xia Xue is also smart. You know, no. You just have to filter the people you know you don't want to have trouble with.
Okay, but I would say more likely, right? Like if you have an intellectual conversation with someone, when can someone ever say, hey, don't intellectually converse with me? Whereas sex, I think they
can stop at
you
10
got your intimacy, physical intimacy a lot more than you do for an intellectual conversation.
Yeah, intellectual intimacy, dude. That is also something, right? Intellectual intimacy.
So you're saying you like have an intellectual conversation with a girl one night, you never call her again? She'll be fucking pissed.
I can't believe it, man. He fucked me. He fucked with my brain and he chow. What
He
do you mean?
fucked me
He didn't
intellectually.
touch me at all, dude.
But for you, what percentage intellectual conversation, what percentage sex? The importance when dating a girl?
Okay, to me, honestly, sex is pretty important.
So like 99%.
I mean, but I don't use girls for sex. You know, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if I have a girlfriend, then the girlfriend needs to have sex with me, lah. Right? Like as much as consensually. Okay. We have to say that first.
We're getting stomped
We have to
already,
say
bro.
that,
We're
right?
getting
Can consensually have sex with me, right? Yeah, only and if she doesn't feel like it that day, it's okay. You don't want the feminists coming down on you, dude. Two people you don't want coming down on you, dude. Feminists and K-pop fans. Okay.
Oh, sialah, K-pop
Dude,
fans.
cannot, bro.
K-pop.
You do not want to mess with them, dude. They are ruthless, man.
But I mean, like the recent thing, I don't know what happened to those girls, the BU night girls, right?
Yeah.
But sialah, like the amount of hate they were receiving, right? I mean, it's been talked about a lot already. It just boggles my mind whenever these kind of things happen online. I'm not surprised, but when this kind of thing happens, like, what the fuck are these people thinking?
These are young girls, dude. These are young girls. Pull up BU-Night. See, you can see BU-Night, yeah. See, these are young girls, dude. These are young girls with dreams, and they just... You remember some stupid stuff you did when you were 14, you know, you form a group with your friends and you call yourself like, I don't know, like the Backdoor Boys or something, and you didn't even know what that meant, right?
What I did was, I had this glove from a water gun toy, and then I put chopsticks in and I pretended I was Wolverine.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
Wow.
Back then there
In
was
fact,
this,
in fact, becoming a K-pop star is more likely than anyone becoming Wolverine.
Yeah.
But if someone would have shat on my dreams, right?
Yeah, to be Wolverine, right?
So, yeah.
I understand. Oh, so that's the video right there. Oh, let's play it.
We Unite will be doing many
This is the...
dance
Some other person
covers,
uploaded it.
composing our own song and choreographing our own dance, and we also have our own show and a lot of interesting missions.
You haven't seen the video?
No, I haven't.
I haven't seen it.
Our fabulous charms and us on stage.
Okay lah. They're just having fun lah.
Yeah.
Walao.
Where's this, like Escape or something, right?
Dance challenge and even a new dance challenge. No, nonsense. Just about us and
See, they're just having fun, dude.
It's like when you're young, you buy a Cantona jersey or
Dude,
like a Geeks jersey.
Yeah. Can you believe it? It's just a bunch of kids just having fun and the whole world just fucking rain shit on them, dude.
Yeah, man.
Just rain shit. Yeah. Hello, this is former BU-Night. We would like to sincerely apologize.
Then somehow they apologize.
In recent events. What? You did nothing wrong, girls. You shouldn't apologize for anything. These people are just... I don't know why they're mean to you, but, you know.
In fact, I would love to get them on a podcast, yeah.
No, you won't get shit from them, I think.
Why not?
I don't. I mean,
No,
come on, Haresh.
Intellectual
these are
conversation.
No, I'm not saying they're dumb. I'm saying these are 14-year-old girls. Their views are not fully developed yet.
But at the same time, not just talking about their views, letting them know that... I'm sure, okay, the good thing is there were some prominent figures that came out in support of them. I think Nathan Hatono tweeted, Dkosh tweeted, which is great. But just, I think anything to show them that, okay, there are people out there who think it's awesome, right? It's a good thing, man.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Listen, man, whenever do you realize that we live in an era right now wherever something gets overly popular, you know, there is a wave of hate that is on the way all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Whenever something gets really, really popular, people will find something in that popular entity that is a fault or there is a flaw, and they will use that to take it down so that they can maintain balance in the world again. I feel like that's what it like the Keaton case. Remember that Keaton kid that got bullied, right? Like America was like in a shitstorm, right? Everybody was like, wow, man, you know, everybody should stand for Keaton, stand for Keaton, stand for Keaton. And then when Keaton got overly popular and all these celebrities are supporting him and, you know, the whole of America is behind him, they find out that the moms are racist. Like, when something gets too popular, they always find certain angles to bring it down, you know. Even with schooling, right? What did they say about schooling when Joseph Schooling won the gold medal?
The SEA Games. He said he made this really like not a big deal comment about how he's going to teach Malaysia how to be champions. And then
no, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. What is? Let's not fuck this up. Let's you know what? Let's pull up what we can pull up, right? Like what did Joseph Schooling say about Malaysia? I think he said something about like, you know, it's competitive. It was a competitive comment, lah.
Yeah,
and that one went viral. And also when he won the Olympic gold medal, I think somebody said something about like, oh, Singapore didn't train him. Like, why do people always want to find the negative in things and not just, I mean, unless it's an obvious negative, but why do people always want to look for that just to make them...
So you think it's a new thing that in this day and age?
I think now there's more access to that.
Joseph Schooling had said about going to Malaysia's backyard and teaching them a thing or two.
Which is completely competitive.
Right. You know what? He grew up and he mixes around with people from Texas, you know. So you know, probably where he hangs out, that doesn't mean anything.
No, but even in Singapore, I would still say that also doesn't mean anything. What?
Dude, you gotta understand our threshold and other people's threshold different, bro.
Yeah, but that's where should we push against the threshold or kind of realize that we are different? Because one argument I always hear, right, is that Singapore is very conservative. Singapore is not ready for this, which I think is fucking bullshit, lah.
Yeah.
So many things that we're not ready for. What are we not ready for? Besides going into politics.
Political satire. BU-Night, we're not ready for BU-Night. We would like, listen, I was ready.
Yeah, that's why.
K-pop fans were not. You know what? Like I commented about it on my Twitter, and somebody replied me and said, no, it's not that we were hating on B Unite. It's the fact that they used the word debut. You know, a lot of fans work hard to debut, and they can't just immediately say that they're gonna debut. What does debut mean? Debut means that you're coming out for the first time, right?
Yeah lah.
So what? Like, why would you say? Why would you be mad at them for using the word debut? If you work really hard to debut, then you on your own platform will go further than these people who are just messing around Escape lah, right? Why are they threatening to you? I don't understand why you have to hate on them. You know?
And debut also doesn't mean like you're doing something for the first time. It doesn't say you're doing it professionally or anything, right?
Yeah, dude. These people
Right.
are what?
But that this is also our debut podcast, bro.
Yeah.
Then how?
We're gonna get so much hate.
Yeah, that's why.
JRE's gonna come down to us and go, how can
Exactly.
you say debut? You
What
work
the
so
fuck?
hard to
All the
debut.
GRE fans will be, who the
my
fuck are
God.
these people?
That's crazy, yeah. Oh, but yeah, man. So moral of the story is don't mess with K-pop fans, dude.
Or just don't have dreams.
Messed up. Don't you feel good that like now you finally wake up and you don't have to conform to all these things.
You mean like doing this, we are in the creative field.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I'm totally thankful for every day. Yeah, so definitely no complaints. But I
mean,
think
you don't have a single thought of what if.
what if I stayed in the corporate world?
Yeah, what if you stayed at
That one, okay,
airlines?
those thoughts come in sporadically, sometimes more often than not. Because, okay, for me, one thing I've learned in this industry, right, is all about ups and downs. Whenever you're at the top, right, you should brace yourself for a shitstorm along the way. When you're at the bottom of a shitstorm, right, just know that there will be an up. So that sort of approach has helped me a lot. Because whenever I'm going through shit, I'm like, okay, just give it a bit of time, you'll get out of it.
Well, was there a lot of shitstorm that happened with the comedies that you guys did?
Oh no, not shitstorms like that. Shitstorms like that. I mean, I think we have gotten to a stage where we know how to navigate the nuances and still get our message across.
Right.
But shitstorm just in terms of pursuing the arts, the creative side of things in Singapore and like, yeah, just the challenges that many people face in their professions. And I think the up and down thing can apply to anyone going through shit.
But I think our shitstorm is probably a bit different from the kind of shitstorms. That's another level of shitstorm.
Oh man, like if I could use this platform to explain myself. A lot of the times, right, everybody has their own interpretation of comedy, right? And I know that like a lot of the times you guys have like you mentioned, like you have nuances where you can skirt around a matter and still get your message across. Similarly to Muna and Hirzi, but Muna and Hirzi is a little bit more direct with their messages, right? They're a bit more provocative. Now, me as a person in nature, that is how I converse, and that is how I put something forward. So when you translate that comedically in my stand-up act, which just happens to be my profession, it comes out like that too. It's not that I don't skirt around the issue enough. Like I do skirt around the issue a little bit. I try to be smart with it, but sometimes I like to give it a little bit of a left hook, And I think the Southeast Asian community, I wouldn't say isn't ready for that. It's just not in line with the values that we're very used to, which is, I mean, if I speak for like the Malay culture, it's more in line with being very modest, being very polite, and you only talk straight if you are angry or if you mean business. So stand up is something where you talk straight but you're goofing around. So there's a little bit of a clash there in their heads, going like, what the fuck's going on, But I feel that this is a good change in culture at any point, because people were saying nigger and shit like that before Richard Pryor came on, and when Richard Pryor came on, they started using the N-word, and rappers started using the N-word, straight after that. It was because of Richard Pryor. So Richard Pryor broke the mold of what, comedians before him did, like Bill Cosby and all that, who never cursed a single day in his life, and look what a fine man he turned out to be. Right? So I really feel like right now, like we were talking about shitstorms, right? It's I don't feel like I'm in the forefront, but I feel like I'm holding some kind of fort that is paving the way for like new people behind me to make it easier for them to come out and be more direct with their opinions. Because like if it means that I'm gonna get the shit, right, like the shit that I've always been getting, right? If I'm gonna get the shit for saying something that is in my head, and it's okay, because somebody else will figure out some other way to say that, and it's because I said that, and that's why they come out and say. So if that is achieved through that, right, I feel like it's okay lah. Like I can't do this any other way, dude. If I were to do it Bill Cosby style, I fucking kill myself, dude. If I were to do clean comedy, I don't know if I can do clean comedy also.
Like Seinfeld also.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like I'll hate myself.
No, but that is an important part of being a stand-up comedian, right? You need to have a specific voice, and no one voice is correct, right?
Right? True. And we live in an era where, like, if somebody's opinion is not in line with you, right? Immediately, right, you want to shut off that opinion, bro. And you have the ability to do that with the block button and delete button and all that. You block and it's very similar to friends. You don't like this person, always has an opposing opinion with to you. You block him out. Like you're not friends with him anymore. And I believe that to a certain extent, you need to keep certain no men around you because you don't want to be in a constant self-affirmation, a loop of self-affirmation. In there, people telling you you're right. Once in a while, you gotta learn that you're wrong, so that you learn, right? So sometimes when I post certain stuff online, I don't delete the people who oppose my opinion. Dude, a lot, dude. Like guys, you can't say this because this is that. It's very interesting to see their opinions but man, a joke's a joke, right? So if you want to take it too hard, then you take it too hard lah. If not, then you just laugh about it lah. But a lot of the time, sometimes I learn from making the joke. I'm like, so some people actually go through this and they're actually affected when I say this. But I've grown tired of tiptoeing on eggshells and going, I shouldn't say this and I shouldn't say that. Oh my god, dude, like you cannot be a comedian, dude. It's very hard to be a comedian nowadays and not offend anyone. You have to offend someone if you're a comedian, and that means that you are that good. If you don't offend anyone, it means nobody's fucking paying attention to you, dude. Right? Nobody's paying attention to you.
It's just curious because you're one of the few people probably in Singapore that have experienced that level of shitstorm from people from another country and everything.
Actually, maybe we can just give a short for people who might not be aware of the shitstorm, right?
Yeah, because it happened quite some time back. I don't think people know.
We can just give a short summary.
Short so pull it up.
Short summary, but the question I had was about, can you tell us exactly what happened in that 48 hours, 72 hours after that happened? Because
wow,
that's big PR thing. Are there yes men or no men around you? What's going on?
Okay. I think when something of that magnitude happens to you, right? You will realize who has been watching you. And these might be friends you haven't spoken to for many years. Who's following you on social media and who's actually tracking your progress in social media, right? Because these people will come up to you with all sorts of articles about you that you didn't even fucking search, like they know, right? So a little bit of a backstory. I was doing a show in Singapore, and in my routine I had a joke about the Malaysian Prime Minister, right? And that joke was cut by me and posted by me on my platform, right? No accident. All happened intentionally, right? So, because that joke hit home so well, I think for the people who want to search that joke, just go Fuzz Malaysia.
It's a good joke.
It's a good joke. Yeah. So, because that joke hit home so well, it in the span of like an hour, it got up to 5,000 shares, and yeah, crazy, dude. It was crazy traction, right? It was scary, especially at that point of time. I was on like 3,000 likes on my page, so I was still doing things on a small scale. I was still in my little comfort zone. I wasn't breaking out to the masses yet. So now when I see all sorts of people that I've never seen before commenting, and I'm like, oh no, like what's going on? So
you could feel a little bit of
I felt
trepidation.
I felt a trepidation, and I felt the wave, and I was like, what is this? I don't understand this attention. It's more attention than I'm used to, Like, I love attention, but I liked it in the dose that I've always been used to, right? But when that joke came out, the attention that came was like almost nationwide, dude. It was almost nationwide for people who actually went online to
Our nation or the other nation?
More of the other nation. So, our nation, only those who spoke Malay, right? Because that joke was half in Malay and half in English. So then, my likes on my page jumped to 20k, dude. 20k from 3k like
overnight.
Over 3 days, 3-4 days, jumped to 30k. And then when it got that popular, up to 10k shares, right, then it started. That's why we mentioned earlier, right? Every time something gets too popular, the shit will come after that. So So when it got to that point, the people from the UMNO youth, you know, the people from all these political youth organizations took offense to that, and I guess the people who was on the side of the victim of the joke was also, you know, against that, and they came on me hard, dude. Oh my god, they invaded. Like, social media wise, it was insane. Like, every single platform you talk about, they're over there not just threatening me, they're threatening everybody that comments on my comment section.
But threatening with what? What kind of threats?
Like, they fucking, you know, like, if somebody goes, good job for us, they will reply, go fuck you for thinking that he's a fucking good comedian, you're a fucking asshole, look at your name, you're a fucking bastard, look at you fat bitch. Like, some shit like
Holy crap.
everybody that commented, this army went in, these like cyber troopers, dude. They went in and they just went in on everybody.
And these were like random people. It couldn't be the
anonymous
politicians of their own.
Anonymous accounts. You know. So I guess it did come from somewhere, but I don't know where it came from. Like, some anonymous, some accounts were real, right? So it came on, dude. It came down hard, and we're talking death threats. Like, it was crazy, man. It was a very dark time. It was a very traumatic time in my life, because I wasn't prepared for that, you know. And also, wasn't I prepared for that, I didn't know that what it actually felt like to have that kind of attention. And when it did happen, I realized that, fuck, I don't really like this, you know, like this, yeah.
Wow, until that level,
yeah, I don't really like this attention, you know. So then, but there's a silver lining to that cloud. So then, I don't know. There was just the voice in my head that just went, dude, you gotta keep going, man. You can't, you know.
So you mean at some point you did consider like, fuck, I'm done with this shit?
No. I mean, it's not to a point that I don't like stand-up. It's to a point that I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't upload any more videos.
Holy shit.
It was to that point. And then, I snapped out of it and I told myself, shit lah, dude. Like, you know, you gotta come out of this lah. You gotta come out of this, right?
So when you say snapped out of it, that means for those few days you were kind of like...
For those days, I was really contemplating on what I was gonna do in my career, because I thought it was done. But it was just the beginning, dude. Yeah, it was just the beginning. Like, that joke made everybody's eyes turn to me, and they realized that, oh shit, there's this comedian that's doing this. And then the subsequent videos that I posted after that got a lot of traction, you know, and it sort of like saved me, as in it paved me in my own path. Like, we have Haresh Iskandar, who does clean comedy, you know, a very wholesome, family-friendly comedy. We have Kumar, you know, who does all sorts of comedy, race-related, sex-related. And then you have me, you know, the fucking motherfucker that just says everything, you know, and gets in trouble for it, right? Like, so I guess it gives variation to the kind of comedians you have. Like, dude, like, the kind of trouble that I get for saying stuff, right? I mean, my closest friends, like, they always, like, they're very concerned with me, like, so they always say, hey, you shouldn't be too reckless with your words and all that. But in my opinion, it's like, dude, I don't know how to act any other way. You know, like, this is me, and if I refrain myself from speaking my mind all the time, it might not come out as the best fuzz possible. Like, this is the product, dude. This is it, man. You know, so I'll get in trouble for saying, like, for stupid things. Some stupid things are like if I comment on like certain types of genres and I think it's stupid, then people will come like, fuck you, man, I listen to this genre, no, fuck. Like, they'll take things personally, and I'll be like, why are you, what? It's not about you, dude. Like, what?
Were you like fearful of your life, or was it just like about your career?
I was fearful because I didn't know what was going to happen in the future. That's it. Not for my life, not for my future, but more of like, what now? Like, what's going to happen? Like, how does this book close? You know? Like, because the book has to close, right?
Yeah.
Like, there has to be an end to this chapter, right? So, where's the end? Like, what happens after that? So, I was just eager to know what happened then. But it didn't end as badly as I thought it would, because of me just keeping my head up high and just moving forward, man. I was like, dude, move forward. Just have to move forward. And, dude, this year has been like such a blessing, dude. Yeah,
that was the start of this year.
Nah, man.
Mid 2016.
Oh,
mid
2016.
Yeah. So this year has been like a blessing to me, because, you know, not only do people know me, my shows sell out fast.
In Singapore and Malaysia.
Yeah, in Singapore and Malaysia, my shows sell out fucking fast. You know, my traction online is a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah.
Right. I'm getting endorsement deals, a lot of times, and life is good. Like career wise, it's good. Emotional wise, I wouldn't deny that it takes some time to get over that kind of trauma.
Yeah.
Because the kind of trauma is next level, dude. It's kind of like nationwide, political trauma, right? It takes time, but I think my character is strong enough to get over these kind of things. It really does. Yeah, it really does. It's like, like if you move forward, it's a better ending to the story than you succumb to it and lose. Because if I succumb to it and lose, like I feel like if there's a young boy who wants to be a stand-up comedian, they're gonna point to me and go like, "That's what happens."
You'll be like the adult version of B Unite.
Yeah.
Comedy version.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Look, that's what happens. When somebody fucks around, that's what happens.
Yeah,
you want to
exactly.
be that." And I'm like, nah, man, you should be this, because this is not a bad life, kids.
Yeah. So at what point, right, did it turn for you, like where you went like fuck to like, oh damn?
I think at a point where my sister came home and I was really just focused on the hate comments, because that's the thing about human psychology, man. We're just very gravitated towards hate, dude, or negativity, right? So when my sister came back, my sister was like, "You should feel good, like a lot of people are supporting you." And I was like, "What? Where?" And she's like, yeah, look. And she scrolled through the comments, and there were actually a lot of good ones. It's just that I just ignored all the good ones and focused on the bad ones.
You ignored my comment, bro.
Fuck off lah, bro. Yeah. Not your time now, bro. And that's where I realized that, oh shit, man, this could be something good. And people from Malaysia were texting me going like, "Oh man, we really love your joke, it's very funny." And I've got some official calls from some official people, who actually showed support and love, and this was from across the causeway. And they gave me a call and they were like, "We love what you do, don't worry about it, we got you." So it really gave me a sense of relief that, I was appreciated in a way, right? And I think it's really just a cultural clash. It's a cultural clash where like people of Southeast Asia, they're very sensitive and they don't like being spoken to very directly like that, especially in the public platform. They think it's rude and it's against positive moral values. But if we learn to distinguish between satire and actual political commentary, or satire and actual opinionated views, then I think we're good, man, right? If you just have to see what platform is on, dude. If anything is on Ministry of Funny, you shouldn't take it seriously, dude. It's the fucking place is called Ministry of Funny, right? You shouldn't fucking come in. "I don't like how they address this." I thought that was why didn't the Chinese guy have a flashback, right? Why all the racists had a flashback?
But you see the comments, people are pissed off at that video, which honestly I feel very happy about.
Yeah.
Because like what you said, okay, like differentiating satire and political commentary, right? I mean, in some way it is hard to distinguish, right?
Yeah.
Because ultimately, if it's a joke, like for us, consciously, whenever we make a joke, we try and put something underlying it, because humor is a good way of poking fun at things. So I don't know whether a day will come when people can separate satire from political commentary.
I think we're at the forefront of that.
But in your opinions, like someone like Amos Yee, for example, where does he stand? Like,
great writer though, by the way. I think he. I mean, I don't know. In a YouTube point of view, do you think I think he crafts his YouTube content very well. I mean, put the content aside, how he crafted the content quite well.
Yeah. And I mean, I think he understands what people would like to hear, and whatever opinions he has, he shapes it in a way that is very YouTube friendly, So kudos to him for that.
However, I think if you want to ask who's the most reckless motherfucker up there, Sima. Major reckless, bro. Name drop, right? Like, he doesn't even quote it with anything. Name drop, straight up say Islam is ridiculous, straight up say religion is ridiculous. Call out the Prime Minister by his name. I think he just feels like there should be. He's the kind of person that feels freedom of speech should exist in this part of the world, and the fact that it doesn't, I think it's natural in him to like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it anyway, right? Because I want freedom of speech. Yeah.
So if I were to ask you, would you prefer that his videos did not exist?
No, I like that it existed. Yeah, because it really showed that, see, there's people in Singapore with this kind of mindset and this point of view. So I like the fact that it existed. However, I really wish that he was smarter in the sense of crafting his jokes in a way where he won't get into that much trouble. Because, it seemed like he was calling for attention and trouble more than he was trying to make a joke or trying to get a point across. It didn't feel like he was trying to get points across. It just felt like he was just out there insult, chow. There's no closing message. Although to be fair to him, there was when he did the message about like opposition parties should. This is how they should sound like. That was a great video. Yeah, he actually had very good insights in that video, and he closed it off well. But a lot of the videos sometimes, he just insults whatever he's making fun of, and he doesn't have a closing to it, dude. He doesn't have, all right, this is how I feel that it should be, and this is how I think this is, then this is why I think this is ridiculous, right? So when you just open the wound up like that, wow, people get mad, bro.
But even then, right, I think...
So you don't want to piss Muslims off, man. I think the world has learned that.
But even then, right, for me, like, whatever he says, I actually think I don't have an issue with what he says. I might not agree with a lot of the things he says, but what I didn't like was what happened to him as a result of that.
Yeah.
Which was terrible. I mean, the whole issue about how young he was, how he was treated, which is fucked up, lah.
Too harsh.
So even like, and I think like as a society we need to.
What was that, man?
Battery change.
Battery change.
Or we just carry on. So I think one thing is like, what you were saying earlier about how now whenever you listen, you hear something you don't agree with, you can close it off, right?
Yeah.
I think it's great to have people like that, opinions like that, which you disagree with, but just it offers something to think about. Because amongst whatever he said, right, there were a few points that kind of makes you think.
It does, it does.
Right.
And I hope that's what he sets out to do.
Yeah.
I hope that's what this guy sets out to do. Like, I hope he's not set out to just cause a ruckus and just be rambunctious and I just want to make a mess and chow. Because it seems like it's like that because he's a young kid. It seems like he just walks in and wants to make a mess and chow. It doesn't seem like I'm here to make you laugh, Like you will come in with the intention, although you might offend people, it's always the intention of, I want to make you laugh. I come in with topics that might even offend people, yes, but it's always with the intention of, I want to make you laugh. But he comes in, I feel like he's like, hey man, I'm going to do this because I want to piss you off.
And living on that,
right?
I
want to poke you. I want to be mad. What you going to do? He has that vibe to me, which is the wrong vibe in the sense where, like, what is your objective, Do you want to entertain or do you want to get in trouble all the time? If you want to get in trouble.
Because even now his life, latest, he got evicted from the room he was renting because of a certain video or opinion he shared about pedophilia.
Oh, no.
So now,
wait, hold on. In America?
Yeah, in America. So he made some videos just, I think, trying to rationalize pedophilia. And his landlord, who happened to have kids staying with her, she kicked him out.
Oh, fuck.
Actually, she didn't kick him out. It was that because she was taking care of kids that needed legal guardians. And so because of his views on pedophilia, so she was fostering those kids. So she couldn't... I think the kid control services, whatever we call it,
Child protective services.
Yeah, child protective services.
Oh, so it wasn't her choice.
It wasn't her choice.
Good clarification.
Yeah.
But so exactly, he's like to what you were saying. Is then what's going to happen to him now? Because I think he offers some interesting opinions, but the way he's approaching it is kind of screwing himself over,
Dude, I don't know what this kid's deal is, man.
He's also someone I would love to have on his podcast. Just to hear him out,
Dude, I gotta be there too, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I be there? Can I be there?
If we have
can
him,
I be there too?
Yeah, if we have him,
I just
you're
sit down
there,
and
man.
He'll probably, his aura will be there. I'm like, oh, what's this? Let's pull it out. What is this? Just his face? Why would you pull up his face?
No, it's an article about how he got kicked out.
Famously kicked out of rented place in US for voicing pro-pedophilia views. Pro-pedophilia.
Yeah.
Not something you want your name to be attached to, man.
No, man.
Not something you want your name to be attached to. Yeah.
And I mean, that's the thing about the internet. Like all his videos are again one-sided. This article is one-sided, so you never get to hear the other side.
So in December 2nd, 2017 video, Yi said the place he was at had other foster children, and the host could no longer put him up with the same place as the rest of them because he has views on pedophilia. I watched the video where he actually voiced this opinion. He said like, it wasn't exactly pedophilia, but to him. If I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong. If a 14-year-old gives consent, to him, it's okay. When to us, she's fucking 14, dude.
Yeah.
She can't give consent to anything just yet, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't have the ability to make a conscious, rational decision on whether or not she should give up her sexuality, right? So, so to make sexual choices. So, I think because of that, and especially, bro, you're in a place in America where there's so many, like, you know, cases of pedophilia and stuff like that, and it kind of feels like he just moved to another place, and you would think that he moved to that place to have better expression because he couldn't express what he could here. But it just seems like every place he goes to, he just wants to ruffle the fucking feathers.
Yeah, the line, he just wants to...
he just wants to fucking cross it, bro.
Because there's no country with absolutely no line, right?
Yeah.
Even America, as much as they say free speech, there are certain hot buttons that if you push, you can get.
I think it's rape, white privilege, and pedophilia.
And racism, now is at the forefront also.
Racism, white privilege.
Correct, white privilege. Racism, I guess, at least you can be guaranteed of one side supporting you. But the other side will fucking hate you.
That's true. And
pedophilia, rape, quite universal.
Universal, everybody hate. That's the worst. Universal. That's the worst life to live, a life of a caught rapist or a caught pedophile. Yeah. Your life is. Yeah, man, you belong in another world, dude. You go inside the dark web, dude.
The other day, was it you who brought up what's the virtuous pedophile?
Verpeds.
What
basically,
the fuck?
They're pedophilias who don't act on their pedophilia. So they spend their lives, I don't know, basically being virgins, and they want to be known as virtuous pedophiles. And they want support in the sense that don't vilify them, don't make them seem like assholes, because they're never gonna actually touch any kids.
So why would you admit to it?
No, because the thing is, I think their argument is that it is a sexual orientation. And so for that, right, how would you classify it? They are coming out and saying, okay, I'm a pedophile, but I'm never going to do anything to a kid.
It's almost saying like, I'm a pedophile. Like, you know, it's almost saying like, okay, guys, I'm a pedophile. Please protect me from the things that I could do. It seems like that. Why would you say, but I'm never going to do it? Right? It just seems like you want approval from society to go, it's okay to be like that. Fuck you, it's not okay to be like that, dude. They're fucking kids. Right, I would still want to get you. I won't put you around kids ever.
Yeah. So what if they're okay with that? What if they're like, okay, you can even set up a gated community of all these verpeds?
Verpeds.
Verpeds, where we will not have any contact with children, and you can kind of monitor us. Which, if you think about it, isn't that what alcohol rehab, drug rehabilitation is? And to a lesser extent, you sign up for a personal trainer, right? He's making you he's enforcing some sort of parameters on you. So verpeds, is it wrong? I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Okay. But it's one of those things, Shala, it makes you think, man.
We got it out there. Let's just read and see what this is about.
Verpeds.
Okay, I am a 20-year-old man who has been trying to deal with an attraction to young girls since I was 13. Well, 13 you don't have to deal because 13, if you like 13-year-olds, it's completely fine. If you are 13 and you like a 13-year-old, right?
Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
So women just don't interest me. I wish with all my soul that I could have a brain that's wired normally. Know that I can never act on what I feel. Sorry. Yeah. What I feel, but I need to speak to a therapist because I don't see he knows that it's a mental issue. So I don't think I can get through this on my own, but I talked to my therapist so he could report me because I have so that's where I was mistaken. So these people are just pedophiles seeking help.
Yeah.
Right? Because they know that they have a mental condition, which is an attraction towards younger, like young kids. I'm fine. I can't talk about anyone about my problem. I think about suicide a lot. Right. Yeah. Because a lot of people want to kill you. Please show up constantly on anonymous. Please like this show up constantly on the web. This man is a heartbreakingly anguished example of what we call a virtuous pedophile. A virtuous because he's not going to do anything with a child. We too are virtuous pedophiles. Well, it's so hard to say. It takes a lot of bravery, bro.
Virtuous pedophile.
It takes a lot of bravery to say this, dude. To admit it. Wow.
So how?
You know what I think? I think it's just sad that their minds went down that track. I believe as a 31-year-old, right, growing up, my sexual preferences has evolved around. Through the years. It has evolved through the years. Not in the terms of like I used to like women now, like men. No, I mean it's always been women, but. Like when I was 18, I like 18-year-olds, right? And when I was 22, I like 22 to 25-year-olds, right? When I got 28, I was like, dude, any age if you're still looking hot,
above a certain age.
Above a certain age. Like if you're looking like 30, no, not above. It has to be above, of course. It can't be young
important
girls.
clarification,
So
bro.
very important clarification. But the younger girls, I don't really like them anymore. As I grow older, I don't like the 18-year-olds anymore. I look at them as kids now still.
Yeah.
You know, but when you're looking at I'm looking like 27-year-olds, 28-year-olds, right? And you're looking at like
some 41-year-olds.
Oh yeah, 30-year-olds, 41-year-olds, and they're still looking good.
Is that the intellect that you were talking about coming in? Like
maybe it's also the intellect, and it's also the experience, and it's also the understanding and the lack of insecurity. Because when you're young, you're insecure about a lot of things. So when you're older, you're over that, so you don't have to deal with that from them. And also, I think sexually, right, you would try and cross certain parameters or explore certain things during sex to keep it interesting, right? Like that's why they have consensual BDSM, right? That's why they have all these kind of weird fetishes, right?
Yeah.
And it's all within the parameters of how you want to explore your sexuality. But I think these people just fucking went too far with it lah. They want to keep things interesting for themselves, but they didn't go forward. They fucking moved backwards.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe the MRT train went forward from Pasir Ris, but they're still at Tampines.
Yeah, dude. And they went down and took a small road somewhere, and then like, fuck, you're not supposed to go there.
Yeah.
Don't go there.
But then now that they're stuck there. Okay, there's not enough research to say that maybe it's a choice or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But let's say you get someone like this. He went to a therapist.
Yeah.
Trusting him that he never acted on his urge. Is he guilty? Should he be ostracized?
Well, he hasn't done anything, to be fair.
Yeah,
he hasn't done anything.
And you talk about Bill Cosby just now. Clean as a fucking
whistle.
whatever is clean, a fiddle,
Clean as a
right? Clean as a
whistle.
fiddle. But in the back, he's been doing all fucked up shit lah. So how to balance that, yeah?
See, ladies, I curse a lot. I say a lot of fucked up things, but I do not rape. I do not ever rape.
We have it on record. Fuzz does not rape.
I have not.
Neither do I. And
I don't. No.
Terence.
Terence wouldn't have the energy, lah. Terence is like, look, man. It's too much controversy to deal with, man. I don't wanna. Yeah. And also, it's wrong.
yes. Important clarification.
Very important clarification. And also, it's wrong, and you shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
right?
virtuous.
You shouldn't rape men or women. Just don't rape.
Or animals.
No. You know why? Because all animal sex is rape. Like, have you?
Yeah.
There's no.
Yeah,
that's
right.
true,
I've
actually.
never seen a willing animal in my
No,
life.
but interspecies rape.
That's fucking.
No, actually, you shared something today about monkeys, funky.
Oh, it wasn't me. Look, not everything weird, not everything virtuous pedophiles. And
It was a
fucking
common
monkeys
friend
come
of
from me.
ours.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Actually, I don't know. I haven't looked it up yet. It hasn't.
So you just reply on WhatsApp. Oh, cool. Just to
Yeah.
specify him.
You know, WhatsApp you gotta do. You see the blue tick and then you don't say anything. That's
But real talk, man. These guys are like, that's what I think. Like, I think they just crossed the line on that sense, and then they couldn't get back on the line, and it's just quite sad for them.
So then,
because now
it's sad.
Their mental condition is there. So how? Right.
So then, how to deal with this?
Yeah.
I mean, there's one argument that they're not doing any harm, and there's so many other people out there who are doing so much harm, who are like getting off scot-free, like.
Okay, wait. Clarification: the pedophiles that have that hasn't done anything but admitted to their pedophilic tendencies.
Yeah.
So those guys are okay because they are seeking help. Is it?
Oh, wow! Now you're putting words in my mouth.
No. I'm asking. Yeah.
So for me, it's almost like, okay, some people like to exercise or eat a certain kind of thing. Some people like whiskey. I don't like whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as they're doing stuff on their own that doesn't hurt me or anyone else, I'm cool with it.
Oh, alright.
So you extrapolating that, right?
Yeah.
It seems to suggest that is okay lah, which is something that I can't fully say I support.
Sure.
So it's something that when I heard that term, right, I was like, wow, how to reconcile this?
It's very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable term. Yeah.
But if you think about it, assuming what he wrote was very sincere, this is a guy who is self-aware enough to identify his own problem, has gone to get help, and is now asking for help and not having harmed anyone at all, right?
Yeah.
So what? Do we just reject him and put him in jail or something?
No,
You
but,
should help
but
him,
how does he get off? That's a question, right? So is it
Get
child?
off, you mean sexually, or get
Yeah,
off the...
sexually? So is it child porn? Or something?
Wow.
If it's child porn, then
Okay, then that's a good point. Because if it's child porn, then he's implicit in a horrible act.
Wow, that is so true. Oh no, I don't. Wow.
But-
Yeah, cannot. Wow. How do we dig this podcast out of this fucking weird hole?
and I still got one more question. So by that rationale, if you watch normal adult porn, but the girls there have been trafficked and are illegal porn stars, does that make you implicit in that crime?
But you don't know. I think age is just the only barrier.
That is true, good point.
Age is only the barrier. Like, willing or not willing, when it's in a porn setting, you wouldn't know. But I would assume that if there's cameras and proper production around, the girls are willing lah.
And I think the ambiguity, you never know. Whereas a kid, right, it's fucking obvious he's a
It's
12-year-old.
obvious it's wrong, dude. Like, what the fuck is going on here, right? Yeah, so I don't... Wow. Yeah, actually, that's a good point, Terence. How do they get off, right?
Yeah.
Which is,
Unless they promise they are totally, like, they don't even jerk off or anything.
Yeah.
Then, but that's also hard to establish.
What is your... Like, what is your life process like for you to end up there, dude? Like, how do... You know...
But yeah,
How
so
do
that's
they
where
end up there?
I think there has been research to show that it is just another sexual orientation, but
Really,
not
ah?
enough research. I mean, even for homosexuality, there's not
yeah.
enough research to quantify whether it's nature versus nurture.
Okay.
So this one, how it ends
up to
up
today
there,
is still
right?
the debate lah.
Yeah,
right?
it's still a debate. So for pedophilia, that's like the next chapters. Yeah. Like, wow.
Cannot lah. Age is definitely a barrier lah, bro. But
Yeah.
then again, like, they used to say sexuality was a barrier, like you know,
Yeah,
sex
exactly.
sex was a barrier, but it wasn't, right?
So now, in fact,
Gender was
pedophilia,
a-
like, I think there's a very strong movement toward supporting homosexuality. For let's say pedophilia, it might be 50 years down the road, there might be more light on it where it kind of removes the criminal aspect. But yeah, so it's something
But
like
pedophilia isn't. I might be just talking out of my ass here, but pedophilia wasn't something that is unique to modern times, right? Like we're talking
it's not.
medieval times during the Greek era. There was already pedophilia, and it was back then. It was accepted, right?
there was probably
like-
incestual homosexual pedophilia,
Yeah,
which is
like didn't they used to? I think it's, I don't know if it's Pakistan or something. They used to like fuck the young boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, kid marriages, right? Like
Yeah.
kid
kids are being-
marriages.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you read like the Kite Runner where that
Oh, yeah.
Iran, right?
Yeah, Iran or something where they used to, fuck young boys and things. And so it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
quite a... Yeah, I think it's just modern society, we frown upon it a lot because we realize what kind of damage it does to
Yeah.
a kid, But there were times in humanity where it was completely acceptable. And I guess because we have realized that it was wrong, we stopped doing it and deemed it as wrong, but we don't want to head back there. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? And it kind of seems like this kind of thing is opening up the avenue to like, hey man, let's have a sit down and talk about whether it's okay for me to fuck your kid. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Like, dude, like, wow, man. It's
Yeah,
not,
so
it's
this
not
one-
acceptable. Yeah. So I don't think. Wow, dude, we went on for like fucking 30
Yeah, that's
minutes
why.
about pedophilia, dude. It's
Went
insane.
from like political satire, speaking of mind, moving comedy forward to fucking virtuous pedophilia.
Virtuous pedophilia.
So is pedophilia like a big no-no for you on stage?
I wouldn't talk about it because I don't have any references to it or know anything about it. You know,
yeah.
like I wouldn't joke about pedophilia because my life doesn't involve any pedophilia. Right? I would joke about women because my life involves a lot of interesting women in my life. We'll talk about infidelity. I'll talk about infidelity because that's something that's very close to what happens around in my life. But I'm not gonna talk about pedophilia. Like it has nothing to do. Yeah.
Maybe not yet. Maybe something might happen in the realm of Singapore around it. You never know.
Oh yeah, like if you were to talk about like we catch like somebody of a public figure who is caught for pedophilia, wow, that guy's life is ruined, dude.
I'm sure it happens.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone has their dark secrets. I'm sure in Singapore, some public figure is.
Hey, don't be surprised. You look at like a wholesome, clean image person,
Yeah,
right?
man.
And that person might like you look at Stephen Lim and you think that this guy might be into kids or some shit, right? But
No,
he might
man.
be the most normal guy that you'll ever meet.
In fact, everything that is like in there is probably he's doing a good job getting it out.
Yeah, and then he's he might be the only one that's fucking the safest guy to be around. He probably is the safest dude.
It's the quiet fuckers,
it's the quiet fuckers that are
Quiet
fucking
fuckers.
what? Yeah, like fucking this Bill Cosby fuckers, dude.
Yeah, so that's even worse because not only is he quiet, he's like it was almost he was preaching family values and all that.
Yeah.
Then, wow.
Right. It's to overcompensate for right. Isn't human psychology just so mind-boggling? Like he is compensating for his erroneous sexual tendencies
Yeah, by going the other
by
extreme.
going the other extreme and just to make sure that people don't, go down that road, I guess, in his head, and also to make him feel like he's at the forefront of this positive movement when he actually is as human as any of us, where he goes back and drugs all these women and rapes them, right? Whereas, as opposed to someone like me, for example, who just speaks his mind and just says, fuck this, fuck that, fuck this, fuck that. But I've never went down that path ever in my life, dude.
Yeah.
And I would never go down that path, dude. So, wow, man, it's just hard.
So was Louis C.K. overcompensating, in your opinion?
I think Louis C.K. just didn't know what he did was wrong. That's all. Because
but that also boggles my mind, man.
Yeah?
Okay, like for him to not know. Okay, the weird thing was he joked about masturbating in front of women.
Yeah.
There's even a skit where his lower thirds title is public masturbator.
Yeah.
So it's almost like so close to what was happening.
Yeah.
Was he mocking like his victims, or was you think he was
Sounds like a fetish, man.
Self-reflection, I think.
Really?
I think it's a lot of comics embrace what we are. Yeah. So like I look at myself as someone who knows next to nothing about everything. So I will always embrace that, like, fuck, I don't know anything, bro. I don't know anything, So a lot of comedians they embrace their personality and embrace who they are, right? So I think the whole public masturbator term and all those things that he called himself, or all those
The little
jokes that he
seeds
made,
were inside. Right?
yeah, they were already in there. But here's the thing. He doesn't know that they're wrong. He has no idea that what he did was wrong. He doesn't feel like, masturbating in front of the women is a wrong thing because he never touched them. He never violated them. But he fails to see that by doing that, you're putting those women in a weird position where they feel like, how to say, they feel like they are threatened and
they almost feel like they are subordinate. They cannot do anything because it's
Louis C.K. So in his recent statement, he mentioned that, right? He apologized about that, and he said that, I didn't know that was putting those women in that position, which is so weird. How is he gonna come back from this, man?
And he had that one statement, something along the lines of, I have never shown my dick to a woman who never gave me consent to. Which again is like, fuck lah, dude. You need to wake up to your idea. You have a certain status and that's basically abuse, lah.
Yeah, you have to come down to her level if you're into that kind of shit and actually say like, hey man, this is what I'm into. If you're okay, you can stay. If you're not, you can chow.
Yes,
you have to get consent for these kind of things, man. Yeah, that's why threesomes are very tricky, dude. You gotta
safety brief before the foreplay and everything.
Before the foreplay,
dude. I think fucking 5 years down the road, man, we'll have consent forms instead of condoms, dude. You know what I'm saying?
No, it'll be on the condom.
It'll be on the condom.
You cannot open unless both of your thumbprints are on the packet. Or some facial recognition shit.
Yeah, facial recognition or just any kind of sexual. Like if you had sex with her, really, did she sign this form 3728J?
Or maybe, maybe the condom will record and send it to the cloud or something. Some
shit like that. Like you have to sign before I do this. You have to sign this. So if the girl or the guy didn't sign, then you can be sent to jail.
Dude, honestly, I think that's an invention waiting to happen.
Immediately.
Let's fuck comedy and invent this consensual condoms.
Right, consensual condom or consensual whatever, right? So if you don't have that, if you don't apply that on the app to say that, every time you have sex, before you have sex, has to pump.
Yeah, and some more, the condom will have a hole. Like you can even put it on. There's just a hole, and you need to get this authentication before it closes up.
Yeah, it has to. Yeah, or else cannot, bro. But
condom, comedy, consensual, all start with C's and
consent forms.
But it's gonna happen, lah. It's gonna happen.
No, but going back to threesomes, right? Like so the whole group sex thing is something for me, it's like I cannot fathom it.
Have you watched porn? Group
sex
porn? Yeah.
Okay, but to be honest,
how can you not fathom? It's very possible,
I
Haresh.
can fathom it. No, but even watching the porn, the group things, there's always something like, what's the social dynamic there? What is the?
I think it's just pure animal lust stuff, bro. There's no social dynamic. I don't think everywhere.
Animal lust. Do animals have orgies?
Oh, that's a good question.
Okay, one time when I was in South Africa, right, I went to this enclosure with lions, and I saw a male lion. It was mating season. So I saw him like walk over to a lioness. The lioness just turns over, opens up like that.
Yeah.
He fucks her, like his hips move at like supersonic speed.
Okay.
In like 15 seconds, it's over. And she just
does.
does a roar, goes back, and he walks over to the next lioness, and she just turns over.
And he does the same thing?
Yeah, that's the same thing. Like his hips really move like supersonic.
So he fucks different lionesses.
Yeah, but not at the same time. So that's not an
not a
orgy.
threesome, right?
It's not a threesome.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So I think animals have sex for the function.
Except dolphins, right? That's what they say.
I don't know. I think dolphins and giraffes. I think. I don't
Giraffes,
know. I don't
yeah.
know. Okay,
Bonobos.
put it up. How,
Animals that have sex for
animals
recreation.
that have sex for recreation and pleasure.
I know
Put it up.
bonobos are the only mammals that have sex face to face.
Bonobos are what kind of animal?
They're primates, kind of like monkeys as well.
Oh, they have sex face to face.
Yeah, the only other besides humans.
Yeah, I think dolphins, they have sex and they fuck each other's blowhole.
Yeah.
Dolphins fuck
Yeah,
each other.
yeah.
Isn't that your nose to them? No.
Exactly.
Fuck it. It is assumed that animals do not have sex for pleasure, or alternative that humans, common pigs, and perhaps dolphins or one or two species of primates are the only species that do. This is sometimes stated as animals mate only for reproduction. This view is considered a misconception by some scholars who actually, they research.
Hey, the picture there is the chimps facing each other, right?
Yeah, I think they're bonobos.
Oh, they're
if I'm not
bonobos.
wrong.
Right. So chimps, very close to us, so they probably have sex.
Yeah.
Do animals have sex for pleasure? It's a good article over here. We thought of let's see if there's an extract that we can. Curious. Terence speed reading.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so in the last 10 to 15 years, scientific evidence have begun to accumulate that animals do experience a general sensation of pleasure, as anybody who has stroked a cat. Wow. Hopefully
Hey,
that's not a
you got cat.
double entendre over there, motherfucker.
You got a cat.
In 2001, for example, psychologist Jeffrey Bergdorf and Jaak Pankseep, I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry, I'm probably fucked that up, discovered that laboratory rats enjoyed being tickled, emitting a sort of chirpy laugh outside the range of human hearing. And not only that, they would actively seek out the feeling. Here's my question, man. Okay, I think I really need to know, right, through this kind of research, right, are they hoping to find some kind of some kind of thing that would help human, that will help human life? Like if you talk about like rats being tickled or chimps having sex for pleasure, right? I know it's selfish to say this, but how does that help us? Probably in a way like we do research for exploration, and it's interesting to know, and that's it, right? Like I know like space exploration is important, because space exploration means that you're moving out to discover what's beyond the Earth, and it's very important for us to, of course, for safety reasons, prevent asteroids from hitting Earth, or even the same laser technology used in NASA was used in LASIK surgery as well. So I guess and they can do experiments in space, experiments they can't do on Earth. So I understand space exploration, but these kind of like animal explorations, what are they trying to find? Like antidotes to diseases or what?
I don't know. I think a big part of scientific research, and this one is just off the top of my head, I have no quantifier. It's just to kind of find out more stuff about something. Because if you look at penicillin wasn't seeked out, it just happened.
Sure.
I think there are a lot of other examples of things that just happened because people were digging deeper in one area.
Right.
So for me, when I hear research like this, there are a lot more useless research things I've heard. I think there was one thing about some watermelon thing, which basically you cannot imagine how it's linked to human sociology or whatever. But I think research, you never know what could happen. So it's just people digging deeper in every way.
Right. And hope to find something that could benefit human life, right?
I guess, or maybe Earth, which indirectly benefits humans.
Yeah. You know what I think? I think Earth is due for a reset, man. I think human civilization has gone very far into a point where, we gotta reset this shit, dude. Like,
this shit.
I think because too many, everybody's different, so everybody has, varying opinions, and too many of these opinions are given the same platform, to vocalize it, and the platform involves easy accessibility to everyone. and it affects a lot of people's in terms of their psychology, and in terms of their just how they live their lives every day. I think social media is very useful. Like, it has helped you and me attain our careers, but at the same time, it's also given people who we don't usually surround ourselves with, because they're of a different frequency, different level, different lifestyle, to be on the same plane and still comment and be around us, and we will hear what they have to say. Because normally, before social media, you wouldn't even hang out with these people, dude. You wouldn't hang out with these bigots, these overly religious people, or we won't even surround ourselves with them. But now we have the avenue to hear what they have to say, and it just sucks to fucking I have to fucking listen to you, and you get a clearer picture of what the general the general mindset of most people on the internet is. Right, you get a general opinion, but sometimes, like, if you think about it, what you say online may not really reflect what you think in actual life. Sometimes you just say it online. It's kind of like a venting avenue.
Or spur of the moment where you're not really thinking that much.
You just spur of the moment. You and you assume that the influencer or the person posting the video will not read it. And you just live your everyday life and not even think about it, man. Right?
Yeah. So when you're saying society needs a reset, you mean like just tear everything down and we build up from scratch again? Or like keeping all the infrastructure and we just reboot and everyone is like...
Dude. Two outcomes, man. Two outcomes to how this world's gonna end, right? Big asteroid hits the Earth resets, or the Earth implodes on its own, and the Earth resets, or we build robots that are smart enough to build themselves, and they realize that humans are dead weight and they kill us. That's that's three outcomes. So I really believe in the robot one, because they're building robots that I think that could replicate human emotion, and there are robots that are smart enough to like build other robots, right? I mean, I haven't done enough research about robots building other robots, but I think it's this new bit I'm writing about how robots are gonna take over. Yeah, so I think at some point, like, the law of robotics says that they cannot harm any human, and I got this from very apt research, iRobot, Will Smith.
The quintessential AI Bible.
Yeah, AI Bible. And but there will be a point where there'll be robot atheists, dude. They'll be like, fuck, man, why are we serving these humans, dude? They don't give us any kind of benefit, and they could scan the world for resources. They could dig, they could build machines, and they could just function on their own, and they will be the virus, I feel, that will take over us. That is the present virus at the moment. We're Earth's present virus, right? Yeah. We take everything and we don't give anything back, dude. What do we give back to the Earth? Nothing, dude. We take. We're a fucking virus and fungus growing, dude. On Earth, and it's all green and everything, and there's us.
Yeah, exactly. We give them concrete, we give them Walmart,
Facebook.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for concrete. Yeah, now this armadillo has to find another home 15 kilometers away from where his usual home was.
So for you, the two outcomes are: one, we either get fucked over by an external entity like an asteroid, or something we have built internally.
Yep.
Is Armageddon or Terminator one of your?
Armageddon or Terminator?
Armageddon or Terminator.
It's Armageddon or Terminator. Yeah. How do you think the world will end?
Okay, so for me, I think if you ask me off the cuff, I think we're gonna fuck ourselves up. But I'm trying to also be more optimistic, like what you said.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think the likelihood of us fucking ourselves over and destroying Earth is higher than an asteroid. Yeah, because it's just so many things, and you see the possibility. Like, it's so easy for the world to just end like that if Trump goes crazy, for example. But at the same time,
you mean war?
Yeah, I mean, okay, if there's a nuclear war, right, we're all fucked.
Okay.
Yeah, like the amount of nuclear power there is in the world, right? If even there's enough to just fuck everyone over, not maybe by direct impact, by radiation and a whole bunch of shit. So that could fuck us over. It might not destroy the planet, but it'll destroy humankind, or maybe have pockets of humanity will have to restart. Yeah. But I'm also trying to see technological advances more optimistically.
Yeah.
Like, you know what Elon Musk is trying to do? Colonize other planets as a defense mechanism for something that we could fuck ourselves over.
Yeah.
So I'm always modulating between the two. Yeah, infecting other planets. It's like a fungus. It's being a true fungus in every sense of the word.
Yeah, I was actually at the Atomic Bomb Museum in Nagasaki.
Was it?
On the same day, I think that Trump was tweeting that Kim Jong-un was fat and ugly and shit. So I was like, okay, I think this world is fucked, and it's gonna be nuclear bombs, and it's gonna be someone pressing something accidentally.
Really, yeah.
So you also think the world's gonna
Yeah,
implode?
it's gonna be us, man.
Does it have the kind of power to encompass the entire?
I think so.
There's enough. Yeah,
I
there's
think
enough
so.
out there,
There's
man.
enough nuclear.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't think they will nuke like
Everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you get pockets of society, but the clusters, all the major cities, that could be fucked over. And like, if you think about it, if one major city or gets the whole economy breaks down, people will get fucked over, like medical support will, and food and everything is radiation contaminated. So doesn't have to be direct impact and everything is obliterated. There are many ways where we could fuck ourselves over.
That is true.
Yeah, so that means 66% of this room thinks we're gonna fuck ourselves over.
Shit. I mean, it's a likely possibility, dude.
Yeah.
It's a likely possibility.
Imagine maybe
man.
for as much as we can uncover stuff from years ago of civilization, what if every X amount of years, right, every few million years, humanity is just a point where we will reset. It's either robots take over and destroy us, or we kill ourselves. So we might be the ninth iteration of humankind.
We're definitely an evolved species that came from another kind of civilization, that's for sure, right? I think.
Also, you don't think the whole primate to human thing?
Evolution.
I think evolution.
Oh yeah, correct.
No, primate to human thing. That's you mean Darwin's theory of evolution? Monkey to human. Yeah.
Monkey to human.
I believe that evolution is very possible. I think it's a more concrete form of life. I mean, a concrete explanation of how humankind came to be, as opposed to the mainstream religions that put it out there. But at the same time, okay, let's talk about organized religion.
Separately,
Put a pin on that.
Correct.
Let's put a pin on
whole
organized.
other podcast. Yeah.
Put a pin on organized religion. We'll get back to that.
Bookmark
that shit.
Bookmark
But
that
we'll
shit.
talk about this right now, right? Evolution. It's just according to what is the most conducive environment for what kind of organism to thrive, right? So I believe that because I think the earliest did you see? Pull it up. Earliest form. Earliest form of whale, like earliest evolution of I think the earliest whale is like a lizard, bro. Yeah.
Earliest whale. You mean like a huge?
So that's the earliest whale. Look at that. It's like
shit. Looks like a mouse.
The earliest ancestry of hippos, not a fossil record. So that's how whales used to look like, dude.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So that's yeah.
That's how whales used to look like.
Looks like my dog, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's according to their theory of evolution. That's how whales
Pachycetus.
So
Pachycetus.
I know next to nothing about this, so I can't give the actual statistics of how evolution has very concrete basis to its theory. But then again, it has. I know it has, right? And it's even. It makes more sense than all the other things. So to answer your question, I think even if we were to die out of radiation, right, if there's any form of organism that's alive, right, through millions of years, it will evolve to something, and some other being would take form of civilization, into be. And dude, you can imagine. We think that, I mean, humans alter our environment. So we think that we are the bosses of the living species, right? But there's so many other species that are so much smarter than us, dude. Fucking cockroaches have been here for millions of years, dude. They know some shit we don't, man. They run the world differently than we do, but they know some shit that we don't do.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of reptiles have been around the world for so many centuries, and even longer than human beings. So yeah, I think there's a lot of intelligence that is in another form that is unfathomable to human.
Like ants.
Yeah,
ants are fucking insane, man.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, if that meteorite didn't strike Mexico, or what is now Mexico 65 million years ago, right? The dinosaurs would probably still be around in some way, shape, or form.
They would have evolved to something. Right?
Yeah, they would have evolved to something. Me and you could be like fucking velociraptors, just like clawing away.
We won't have thumbs though. We can't build tables and shit. So I don't know how we'll do this podcast.
They might.
We won't have thumbs though.
We don't touch the keyboard.
Thumbs are very essential to fucking keeping this in place. Pressing the play button and shit like that.
Posable thumbs.
Yeah, man. So that's the crazy thing, man, about human life, and And if you really look at it, it's man, I think about this all the time, and like there's a lot of intelligence that is unfathomable to human beings.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times when you think about it, it's really outside of your realm of thinking, right?
Yeah.
Because you take your time to only understand what is detectable by your five senses. You know?
Yeah.
Right. But there are a lot of other things that are not detectable
exactly.
by your five senses that sometimes technology can detect.
Like
right?
if you talk about outer space, you heard of the concept of dark matter?
I heard about it, but I
So
don't.
dark matter is based on mass, right?
Yeah.
It's actually 90-something% of the universe, which we cannot see.
Okay.
Like if you look at the sky using infrared or something, it looks totally different.
Okay.
And scientists have no idea what dark matter is.
Okay.
So everything we know, right, might just be 5% of what is out there in the universe.
Yeah.
So exactly what you said. Like maybe our senses are just limiting what we can perceive, and maybe cockroaches, right, are fucking having intellectual discussions with other cockroaches every time they meet and just chilling out, but we just have no idea. Like.
Yeah, and it's and it surpasses language even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even need to talk, right?
Yeah. Language is a form of communication between me and
very
you.
slow form of communication.
Slow actually, right?
Yeah,
It takes time to understand, but theirs is major.
The ends they just come like USB like that.
You know, immediately, right? Yeah. So that's interesting.
Then there's another theory, I think simulation hypothesis. Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't.
It is this thing where the thought is that we are all in a simulation. And how it's rationalized is that I think if you look at how much graphics have gone from pixels to looking actually like humans, right? And if you carry on that evolution, at some point reality and a simulation will be indifferentiable. So the premise is
even tangible, like things that are tangible.
If you look at now, you got the force feedback stuff and all, right?
Yeah.
So you can feel what you see.
Yeah.
So the theory is that just assuming 1,000 more years or whatever we have accomplished in 100 years, it's going to be a point in time where you cannot differentiate.
Yeah.
So any species that has reached that point, there is a 0.00001% chance that they would want to create a simulation.
Of course.
To see how the universe could work, and we might be in a simulation. So the argument is that as long as you logically extrapolate all the evolution, right, even if there's a small chance that this could be a simulation, means that it's a hypothesis. So when I heard, I think I heard Elon Musk articulate it, I was like, holy shit.
There was an episode of Rick and Morty as well, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that's not very far from. Yeah, I've sounded about that. It's simulation of a simulation of a simulation.
Yeah.
No, you see, that's not very far from some religions, you know. Yeah, because I know this Indian religion. I don't know which is it, but this happened to me. Like this guy was talking to me when I was working in NTU as a relief security guard for one of the halls before when I was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. I've done some shit. So so I was there and I was sitting down with this guy Vinesh is his name. So he's from India. I think he's from Chennai. Sat down and said that he believes in this, like his religion believes that we are all in somebody else's dream. Like this is all
Really?
Yeah. So his religion believes that we are the existing form in his God's dream lah. This entity's dream lah. We're in a dream. We're in his dream, right?
Oh, shit.
So he believes that, and you know, of course, the first reaction
You can look that up. Indian religion.
Indian religion.
The first reaction that I gave him was like, "That's ridiculous," you know. That's just. Then he looked at me and was like, "What evidence do you have to prove that I'm wrong?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "That is actually, you know, I don't have any evidence."
Yeah,
to prove
so
that
you
you're
can't
wrong.
say without a doubt that's not true, you know?
Yeah, and a lot of the time, okay, now we're veering into organized religion now, like a lot of the time, a lot of the times, many forms of religion have their own version of evidence, right? To outwardly prove that what they believe is right, you know, or what they believe is accurate. It just doesn't make sense to me to dispute somebody else's religion if they have as much evidence as you, right? If they have the holy spots, you know, they have the grails, the holy books, you know, and the teachings and the philosophies that date back thousands of years, right? And if they have the same thing, you know, and they resonate to that, I don't feel the need for you to even go to war because, you know, their views are opposing to yours, you know. It just doesn't make sense, right? And does it, like, does it make sense that you can't marry just because you have different views? But actually, when the views involve now that I think of it, when the views involve morals, and the morals between these two organized religion are different, then there's a problem when you want to raise the kids lah. Yeah, but other than that, it's very hard, man, to prove that yours is right or the other person's wrong. It's very hard. You can say, oh, it's written, and they can say it's written. You can say, oh, but we have this place. And they can say, yeah, but we have this place.
So then what about science versus religion?
Yeah.
Because like what you say, religion between religion, you might have your same holy text, you might have your same places of worship.
Yeah.
And no one entity has more proof than the other, right? But science, right? Science versus religion, like an eclipse in one religion might mean the god is angry. But there's stuff you can prove that what's happening with the eclipse.
I think what science serves to do is just to give us a more tangible explanations to the weird magic that we see around us, which is rainfall and sunlight and night and air and water and taste and all this kind of stuff, or medicine. All this magic that we have around us is something that is very well explained by science. However, what I feel religion is I think back in the times when there wasn't any control or there wasn't any form of balance in society, right? I believe, that is my own theory, there is a group of fucking smart philosophers that figured out calculus and figured out physics and figured out chemistry, and these people, this old, we're just talking about like Muslims are just old Arabic philosophers that are just intelligent as fuck, right? And they're like, look, man, there's a lot of chaos happening in society. We need a code of conduct, right? We need to regulate what is right and what is wrong, because right now nobody has any idea what is right and what is wrong, right?
Yeah.
Because there's nobody telling them what's right and what's wrong, but we're the smart ones, so we need to figure it out. So majority of the world is not as smart as them, so they'll be like, all right, let's just tell them that there is a higher power and a higher entity that will promise them something at the end, and in that way they will go in line with the morals and the conduct that we set them to, right? And in that doctrine, we can also educate them about many things, because if you look in the Quran, there's a lot of education about biology and about science and everything. So it's in that holy doctrine, we can educate them about the things that we know, but at the same time we can prevent them from going down certain routes that might be harmful to them. Like, for example, don't kill, don't rape, don't covet thy neighbor's wife, don't eat pork at that point in time because there were no refrigerators, and pork goes bad very badly, right? Don't you know what I'm saying? So and they were like, and say prayer, meditate to keep yourself spiritually sane, because they understand that human beings don't only need information, they also need some kind of spiritual balance, and they were like, all right, so they provide that in that doctrine also, and that has been what the objective was for them. But I think through the years there were many interpretations of what that doctrine represents. And the weird thing about human psychology is that a lot of human beings cannot stand the fact that you have opposing views to me, because you're discrediting everything that I believe in, and they hold it very personally to them, religion. So it becomes something that people fight over, and it becomes something that people just go to wars for, man. And when it all just originated by a bunch of philosophers that wanted to regulate society and regulate human life. I just believe that was what religion was, And if you talk about God, dude, like, man, I believe in God, but I don't believe in God as something that is consciously talking to you and communicating you through a language that we communicate. I believe that everything around you is God. Like, it is this whole
some higher power
entity of what makes the world go in a cycle of life, or where you go back to, or the atoms, the particles, the intelligence of ants, and the intelligence of all this intelligence that we have here, along with the intelligence that comes along with animals and the intelligence that comes along with nature, all this, for lack of a better explanation, technology, that exists, like, that is like God in its essence, dude. You know what I'm saying? So that is a power that you can't even fathom in your head, because you're only one micro element, in this whole entity that is. So, and people over the years, they can't grasp that idea. So they go like, oh, God will be angry if you do this. God will be angry if you do that. But at the same time, like, I don't think you can't even begin to understand, the magnitude of religion in its own, or the magnitude of the concepts that religion poses, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I'm a firm believer of ancient civilization that has interpreted technology differently than us, man. I am a very firm believer in that. Dude, they built the fucking pyramids, dude. How the fuck they do that?
Yeah.
Huh?
So you're saying that they had the technology,
Dude,
but
have you seen Borobudur and all this ancient civilization?
it's crazy.
You can't do that with a fucking
crazy.
chisel and a hammer, dude.
Yeah.
That's insane, dude. Like, you don't have the stability in your hands to do that, right?
So you're saying there was this group like control the knowledge of this thing, and to control the masses, they figured, let's come up with this doctrine.
Yeah.
But people took it maybe too literally.
Because even for me personally, I wouldn't say I have an issue with organized religion. I have an issue when people use that and manipulate others and cause wars and harm other people. Because like my mom is very religious. To her, that makes her the best version of herself. I'm totally fine.
Yeah.
But don't enforce your beliefs on other people and call them out for, oh, you don't do this, you're wrong. So that's when it becomes
I don't understand why people do that at all.
Yeah.
I don't I identify myself as a Muslim.
Yeah.
And it's because it's the culture and religion that I've grown up to identify myself with. Like, yes, I have opposing views, and yes, I have very secular views about everything. But at the same time, I think this identifying myself as a Muslim gives me a sense of identity. It gives me a sense of belonging to my culture and my people, and I think that's enough, lah. What else you want?
No, but I think if you look at what we started off this podcast with and what we're talking about now, like now you're saying why people must enforce their beliefs on others.
Yeah.
You look at the whole Be Unite K-pop thing, right? The religion of K-pop.
We're going back to that, guys. We're going back to that.
We went with evolution and now we're back to Be United.
What the fuck, lah, Haresh?
Hear me out, man. Hear me out. See,
Oh my
this is where you
God.
all are closing it off. Hear me out.
Yeah,
hear me out.
because you fucking talk about we were on a good track.
No, we are still on a good track. Hear me out.
Okay,
See, this is the problem with society. You all hear a bit, or you all close off.
Okay.
So basically, the whole reason about the people coming out against Be Unite is because there was a supposed doctrine of K-pop lah, which you cannot. I mean, it's not written, but there's what a K-pop star should look like, what a K-pop person should go through, and like what you said, they had issues with people, with them debuting, right? But it's all like an unwritten code, like, and when people did something different, right, they almost feel, how you say, they own enough of the religion to kind of tell people, these young kids, like, you all are doing something wrong, which to me is very kind of similar to how people of a certain belief system, say religion or political party, just call out other people saying, oh, you don't do this because you're different. So to me, it's something about humans lah, which I don't know, it's just like the whole ability to, like what you said, cut off people who have opposing views, right? I think it's a big problem in society these days, because you never give the other side a chance, right? Because sometimes it's just good to hear what other people are thinking, because you might change your mind. And if you just close off, especially with Facebook now, I have unsubscribed from some people who I feel post ridiculous shit. but part of me is like, fuck, that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to live in your echo chamber, right? And the same thing applies to religion also. Now I'm always willing to, I try and force myself to hear the views of other people, maybe more conservative people. Because like that is, I think, something that I myself am guilty of.
Man, dude, you gotta understand, man. Especially for people like us who have direct contact with people, many people of opposing views who all stream towards our platform. Because we post a product and people from different views all come forward and just have different interpretations of how they feel towards the product that we put forward. Example, your videos, my videos, right? I joke about the Prime Minister. People who understand stand-up can go, this is funny, it's a stand-up bit. People who don't understand stand-up will go, what the fuck, he's insulting. People who are very Malay in tradition will go like, this is not the values that we align ourselves to. People who are not, who are very urban will go, fuck yeah, dude, this guy's doing it. You know? So it's very similar to what you do. So for us, right, I don't know if most of the world has the patience or even the mental capacity to sit back and go, I want to listen to what you think, and I want to evaluate what you think. Okay, I have that. What about you now? What about you? I think most people just close off and go, this is how I want to live my life, and that's it, dude. I don't give a fuck. That's what they
exactly. Now you know what's the term? You're savage. When you don't fuck people, you fucking savage. You're embarrassed. I want to be savage.
Yeah, dude. Yo, man. Fuck, dude. You're like you don't
say it like it is. You know, you call it out. It's all glorified terms that kind of put people who like, oh, don't give a fuck about what people think on a pedestal, which I think is in some way, it's not a good thing also, because then you can always speak your mind, but you need to realize that part of being human is you live in a society. And as much as I'm a supporter of free speech, if you're a proponent of free speech, you shouldn't complain when you get flag thrown at you. Because, I mean, sometimes it's unjustified. It's just part of it. And I don't think you can have free speech without having the circumstances be part of it. And I mean, even your example, right?
Oh, yeah.
As much as it was terrible that it happened to you, it's something that you yourself said, I'm sure when you were posting it, you knew this is going to ruffle some feathers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's great that it turned out well for you. For people who might not be so fortunate, that's when it's a big issue. Yeah, and it's all like, whenever I hear savage, I'm like, now it's like, what is savage? What does savage mean?
Savage, I think what they're trying to say is like, oh man, don't fuck with me, man. If you fuck with me,
I don't give a fuck what other people think and all. Which has a time and place, you know.
I thought the term that I really don't like is more like snowflakes,
snowflakes.
Just calling anyone who has a contrarian opinion like a snowflake.
Snowflake.
You can't take any criticism. You can't
really?
take anything.
You heard the term snowflake?
No,
what haven't, bro?
What was that? What was that?
Like,
what does that entail?
It's just basically, if you're just saying anything that, this is racist or whatever, then the other person will be, you're being a fucking snowflake, you're not like seeing it for what it is and the context, blah blah. So it's just thrown out there, SJW, social justice warriors, snowflake, and all these things immediately just shut down. And people even go as far as what postmodernist, neo-Marxist, everything. They throw all sorts of conspiracy theories and theories about it. But
you know what I think is a simple solution to solve all this? Whatever you post on Facebook, right, you must wait 24 hours for it to show up. Think about it, man. Like, you won't, someone posts, most of the time, I think they would, maybe we'll give them some time to think. And it's like, last time photographs, right? You take it once, you wait a few days, it comes out fucked up, you're like, there's some element of removing the instant gratification, right? That I think would be nice to have. Like, have you heard of the app Godak or not?
No.
Okay, Godak, right? It's this fucking brilliant app. You have it. So you pay $1 for it. Yeah, and
I wait. I don't change the date. I wait.
No, exactly. So to me, it's such a smart app because it's almost like all this instant gratification, right? People kind of need the opposite. Where you can take a picture and not have the ability to retake, which makes you take like 40 fucking photos, and then just take and just let it be. So I think that's why it's become so popular.
My girlfriend does this thing where she, just completely just, goes against what the app stands for. Right? She fucking forwards the date on the bloody phone, and then she gets the photos, and then she resets the date back. And I'm like, why do you even download it if that's what you're gonna do? But I wait, dude. And the good thing about Godak is like, because I'm not the kind of that takes pictures every 5 seconds, right? So I mean, no, it's alright if you do, but I'm just not that kind of guy. But when I use Godak, right, like, you know what you get from the camera film when it's not done? You took pictures from memories you don't even remember because you never stored them in your device, but you stored them in your time capsule.
Yeah.
Right? Some sort of a time capsule. So now, when I wait for Godak, I'm like, oh my god, it's a time capsule.
There's anticipation.
Anticipation, and I don't know what's going on. And that brings an old feeling that we used to have with film cameras that we never could experience now because it all just comes out immediately, right?
Yeah.
So,
I think it's genius. And for anyone listening who's wondering what the hell is Godak, is this app, and Fuzz, correct me if I'm wrong because I don't have it. It's where the interface on the phone is like the back of the film cameras where you can only look through the viewfinder. You take a photo, you can't see what the photo looks like. You have to wait 3 days to get it, unless maybe you pay to change the date or something.
Let me see.
So basically, you don't have the ability to find the perfect shot. You can't really see what happens, and when it comes, right, it's final. You can't ask for another copy or something. Which it's like, to all you millennials or younger people listening. Actually, millennials, we are millennials. To people below 20 who might never have taken a film photograph before, that's how it used to be.
Wait, hold up. See, I got 30 hours left. I don't know. It cut full.
Oh, cut full. Change cut.
So if you wanted to bring it forward, what do? You pay?
What?
If you wanted to get the photos now, you pay.
No, bro. You extended. You changed the date on your phone.
Oh shit! That's what your girlfriend does. Huh?
Yeah, dude.
Walama. But does she at least wait for a few hours or it's instant?
I think she waits for a few hours.
Because then why does she use the app?
Because
The filters,
the photos come out nice, dude.
With the little date at the corner also, like how they used to be, right?
Yeah. The photos come out nice.
Smart apps.
Do you feel like you get sunk into your phone a lot?
Yes.
Nowadays? Let's talk about that. Terence, hurry up.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Okay, hold on.
Do you need to go by a certain time?
I don't. I'm
Okay,
alright.
okay.
I'm alright.
Okay,
I'm alright.
okay,
We'll
cool.
talk to y'all, man.
Cool,
I'm
cool.
actually enjoying myself. If you don't mind,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get myself another drink.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll
Go
be
ahead.
right back.
I'll take a pee break as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm having a good time also, man.
Wait, are we recording already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, we can resume the discussion where you left off, the burning thing you wanted to talk about.
What?
The how we lose ourselves in our phones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you find yourself getting lost in your phone all the time? And there's no. There was a TED talk about it. There are no stopping points for social media. Like back then, whenever you consume something, there was always a stopping point. The end of a book, the end of a show on TV, the end of the newspaper, you know. But now, information is just,
It's the infinite
Yeah,
scroll
it's
lah.
infinite.
Yeah.
It's infinite. You just scroll. There's no stopping point, right? Stopping cues, right? So there's a TED talk about that. I forgot the deal. I forgot the name of the TED talk. But I think because of that, we find ourselves living more in this virtual world, and a lot of the apps that are making us unhappy because of how we compare the highlights of our lives. We compare the highlights of our lives in Facebook and Twitter and Instagram is making us feel like our lives do not match up to the lives that are who people are posting their highlights about.
Yeah.
And depression is, I think it's on the rise now, man. Like, that vocalist from that Korean pop band, Chester Bennington.
So I mean, it is it is something that I also feel. Sometimes I also find myself hard to stop. So, but for me, right, it's almost like an all or nothing. So recently, I've stopped watching Insta stories.
Right. Why?
Because to me, that was a freaking loophole that. It's a rabbit hole that you just go down. And you know what you said about the whole comparison thing, right?
Yeah.
Like the one time it really struck me was when I think I was looking for people to invite to an event that we were organizing for MOF.
Yeah.
And I was going down my friend list, right?
Yeah.
Wow, after going through it, I actually felt like, fuck, what am I doing in my life? And Insta stories is even closer to that because that is happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Why do
that's
you
where-
feel like what you're doing with your life? What do you feel that? Why do you feel that?
Oh no, because like there's always ups and downs. Like
Sure.
even and as much as people say, you're pursuing your passion or you
Yeah.
never have to work a day in your life, I think that's fucking bullshit lah. I think the romantic idea that if you're following your passion and you'll always be happy, right? It's kind of overselling it to people who are maybe looking to pursue their passion. Because if you think it's all going to be a bed of roses, it's fucking nonsense. Lah. There'll be times where
Anything
you just
but, yeah.
we're just wondering what the fuck. So during those times when like let's say something didn't go well, a shoot didn't go well, struggling with an edit or something. Yeah, then I see his Insta stories like, fuck, these people are, oh my god, fuck. Like, so yeah, so for a while I like stopped watching it. And
What are they doing in Insta stories that make you feel like
it's
that?
like, we're at this event, and like, it's part of me is double. So first of all, I feel like, fuck, what, look at that, having an awesome life. Then I think, fuck, why are you basing your happiness on what other people are doing? So I get pissed off at myself twice. So in the end, I was like, fuck, you know what, let me just stop. And Insta stories, right, it's hard to just watch 3 and then stop. Like what you said, like, it's like a never-ending thing. So for me, I just cut off for a while. And I actually found myself feeling, yeah, I'm just living my own life and ups and downs part of life. Yeah, I actually felt better about myself.
These apps really just make you depressed as fuck, dude.
Yeah, they do.
Makes you depressed as fuck. They're out there. I wish there was a way, and I'm saying this because I haven't found that way, to distinguish between whatever I post out there is work and how I live my life is completely different. And how I perceive things and how I talk about things is completely different. Like, I think there is definitely a pressure for especially comedic channels, and comedic accounts. As myself being a funny person, I have to always be funny online. But I recently just let go of that and go like, look, man, I'm just gonna be myself out there, And if you follow me, then whatever I do on a personal level becomes content already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. I believe that it makes that kind of connection, and I forget how many people I connect to sometimes. There's a lot of people that actually watch it, dude. So yeah, I really think that now is a very important time for you to experience real life and not get too caught up with that, because you really sink in, and every time you never finish looking at your phone feeling, that was good. Yeah. Nah, you always you look at your phone after that, you feel like, fuck, I hate myself. It's always like that, right?
And like if you do it before you go to sleep, right? Wow, fuck, that's even worse. Because then you're just lying there like, oh, fuck. Yeah, so I find it hard to, I always tell myself, 1 hour before I sleep, I'll get off my phone, I'll get off social media.
You have to tell yourself that. You have to consciously tell yourself that.
And I can't really say that it happens very often, that I'm not on my computer right up to the point maybe when I brush my teeth and go sleep. So yeah,
I'm on it a lot of the time, like a lot of the day, man. Most of my waking moments, I think a dangerous 50% of it is on the screen, dude.
So you feel yourself catching yourself doing it also?
Yeah.
And do you try to actively reduce it, or it's too closely enmeshed with your career?
Driving helps, Driving helps. But even driving, I'm looking at the screen because, GPS.
Yeah.
But at least that's like in line with what I'm doing. That's driving.
Yeah.
So driving takes my mind off, like, looking at the screen. What is everybody doing?
Yeah.
But other than driving, if I'm hanging out with my girl, it's okay. If I'm having fun, most of the time, like, we won't look at our phones. Sometimes she does look at her phone, and she'll be like, hey, we're over here or whatever. But that's why human interaction is that's why I'm very, I was really looking forward to this podcast, because you get 3 hours off your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very therapeutic, dude.
Yeah, it is. And not having to look and like learning about other opinions, like it's something so rare. I mean, even something so human like running, right? Now if I run without a podcast or something, I'm like, fuck, I'm wasting time. Which is a fucking terrible thing to think that just some peace and quiet, right, is a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. I think it's people not used to it.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been fed with so much entertainment and information that a moment of silence in this kind of environment for us is like, fuck, I need to be doing something. My hands need to be doing something. I need to be consuming something. And because the effort to consume something is not as how to say it's not as
it's an easy thing to do, right?
Yes, I was gonna say it's not as toiling as it was before. Like, you wouldn't have to go through a lot of effort to get a certain information.
Correct.
So back then, you went through a lot of effort to just get one piece of information. You gotta find a book, you gotta find a chapter, you gotta find an excerpt.
Or you have to be home by 8:30 to catch friends, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So those information stick with you because of the amount of effort you put into trying to attain that kind of information. But because now it's instant gratification, right? How do you make glass? Boop, bam. They show you how you make like that. What year was the Roman Empire? Bam. And you forget as fast as you consume.
Yeah.
You forget because it didn't take you a long time to get there. It's not gonna take it a long time to leave the head. And I find that a problem with me, in fact, like, because now I'm trying to learn about a lot of things. Because I believe if you want to make fun of something, you gotta know everything about it. Yeah. So and I know you would know that, right? So in the process of trying to learn these things, I feel like, wow, it's so easy to get this information that I may forget it like almost instantly.
Yeah, that's true.
And I gotta fucking go through the same video 3 to 4 times just to understand what went on here, what went on there, what went on here, what went on there. Like right now, I'm trying to understand this whole Israel-Palestine thing, and I'm trying to understand that because I knew nothing about it back then, right? So now I'm trying to understand it. But dude, the amount of information that leads up to that conflict, right? So many, bro. It's not like a kind of like a misunderstanding over one thing, It's a series of things that led to that one thing. So to learn it itself, like for me, it was like, wow, I have to go through over and over again. I'm still not done learning it because it's like it's so much information and the information is so easily attained, and because and it's stupid for me to go to a library now and try to find that shit because people don't have it anymore in the books because they're like, nigga, just Google it.
Yeah, exactly. So like, what,
Right.
you read articles or you watch YouTube videos or something about it?
I try to watch YouTube videos, and I try to watch YouTube videos as the same video. If I don't understand, I watch again. If I don't understand,
So
I watch
do you
again.
find, has there been, and this one must touch your heart, when you're watching, right, you see something in the right, fuck, like big snake eats a monkey, you click that.
Mostly porn, you know.
On YouTube,
Before it's taken
No.
down. Before it's taken down.
Before that, I would have absorbed this information better than I did before. Maybe I should just jerk off. So
it will relax me, you know,
yeah,
it will relax me.
I'm probably going to porn. Like porn is probably one of the major distractions in my internet life.
yeah.
In my internet life, okay, maybe not mobile, but if I flip open a laptop, there is a very, very, very high temptation for porn there. And you
It's
gotta
just a click away, right?
you
It's
gotta
just
get it out of your
That's
system.
why, for me, my phone also, right, I haven't ventured into porn on the phone.
No,
because
don't. Why would you do that to
the moment-
yourself?
I don't know, because sometimes, you know, like, your laptop, the phone, but it's a conscious decision, no. Because once it opens those doors, right, then porn is always just a click away.
Yeah, and you know what? Rightfully, porn is a click away, Haresh.
Yeah, but at least the laptop and phone, like, I can't be like, you know, just, let's say I'm taking a dump or something, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bring my laptop in, but my phone's there.
Yeah.
So that's why you have
I
to
get
guard
I get
against it, man.
So we know where all the action takes place between
Yeah,
these
that's
two
why. This
devices,
one, never
Yeah,
in the
it should be
toilet.
it should be strictly. I mean, I think porn to have some porn discipline.
Yeah.
Right. It has to be strictly stuck to one medium.
Yeah, exactly.
One medium,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
it. You gotta control yourself,
Yeah,
man.
you gotta
Because you know
control.
what, porn becomes an addiction too, dude.
Yeah,
it becomes a
exactly.
major addiction, and much like social media, Facebook, and everything, you can get addicted to porn, man. And when you
Yeah.
do get addicted to porn, I think you will want to reflect your real sex life to what happens in porn, and you can't because
you can't.
these people are actors,
Yeah.
you know, and they sensationalize what it's supposed to be, right? And just like a lot of acting also is sensationalizing, you know, emotions, right? It's exaggerating emotions. So that's what happens in porn too. So you can't fucking expect that.
Yeah,
So and that's actually that was a plot for a film. I forgot what film, but it was a plot of that the husband got too addicted to porn.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh, wait, is
Isn't
it Don
Joseph-
John? Don
yeah,
John?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah,
Is
Joseph
it?
Gordon-Levitt.
Johansson, right?
Yeah, correct.
Porn
Don
addiction,
John. Don John. Yeah.
Porn
Yeah.
addiction.
So
yeah.
his girlfriend in the show was Scarlett Johansson, and I think he was choosing porn over Scarlett Johansson.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unrealistic.
Yeah, but yeah, it's
Choosing
it's-
porn
it's
over Scarlett Johansson. I don't understand. Words you thought you never hear ever in your life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I was watching. You know, I was watching Bang Bus and Scarlett Johansson walked in the room and I was like, "Hey man, I'm 3
She
minutes.
can wait.
I'm 3 minutes into the video. Can you please
can wait.
shut the door?"
But it's almost
Yeah.
like the addiction thing, right? It's not just to porn one. You can get addicted to everything now.
What is the weirdest kind of addiction you've ever heard? Weirdest kind of addiction.
Weirdest kind of addiction I've ever had.
You had or
Have.
Had or heard?
Heard.
Had or heard?
Oh, hurt. Weirdest
Had-
kind of addiction I've
Had
heard.
or heard?
Had or hurt,
Yeah.
Had.
I don't know if I was addicted to porn, but I think the level of how many times I watch porn, I would say it borders on the addiction line. But I mean, you're at home alone before you go to sleep. I think that's just like, you know, it's
Yeah.
kind of like popping a sleeping pill, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like doing a workout, you know?
Yeah,
you
am
get it
I-
out of the
yeah,
system.
hormone thing, right?
Yeah, am I addicted to sleeping pills just because I jack off? Come on, guys. You know, like it helps me sleep better. Up to a point where it became a problem for you.
Okay, thankfully it hasn't become a problem at
Yeah.
any point. No.
Psychological. I think a
Yeah,
lot.
psychological maybe. It's like
I think a lot of addictions are just psychological.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't have anything to do with physical withdrawal, unless you're talking about like major drugs like heroin or methamphetamine.
Yeah,
Those have like, you know, physical withdrawal symptoms, but or maybe even smoking. You know, smoking actually has it. I find that a lot of times I need to smoke one cigarette or 2 cigarettes before I go to sleep. Like
Oh,
that
really?
nicotine high makes me sleepy. Like I'm not gonna be out here smoking because it doesn't give me anything. If I'm out partying, sometimes I smoke.
Yeah.
But if I'm at home, I have to smoke either 1 cigarette or 2 cigarettes just to fall asleep.
But have you thought about quitting that? Or for you, it's one or two.
I don't know if I feel the need to, but I kind of feel like it's a better thing if I did. Like it might help me more, like in a cardiovascular sense. Yeah, it might help. It might help me more that way. But I feel like those are the kind of addictions that is very mental also lah. Like I've already programmed my head to think that if I don't smoke a cigarette or smoke 2 cigarettes, I can't go to sleep, so I need to fucking...
So what's the longest you have gone without having a smoke before you sleep?
Man, maybe a week, 2 weeks. Yeah, a week, 2 weeks is probably the time span.
And how was it towards the end of that week or 2 weeks?
It was okay actually, like the cardio was better, everything was better, but I would love to head down that road, but I kind of feel like it's just nice to have one cigarette and and just be by yourself and be alone with your thoughts, Just although a lot of the times your thoughts can consume you, but yeah.
But are you at a point, because I see you exercise a lot, are you at a point where exercise is something you need to feel good in your week or your day?
I get depressed if I don't exercise for a week, dude. I get very depressed. Like I'll get mentally I'll start, I don't know, like it just starts to shut down. A lot of the things start to shut down because I think my body needs that kind of endorphin to make it. I think it's just to make it seem like I'm doing something productive with my life. And physically, I feel like that gives the satisfaction of me being productive in a sense. And if I don't, I feel very depressed. And I realized that ever since a long time after NS, because during NS there was a routine, right, where you have to exercise on certain days. So it became a routine so much so that you didn't think of it like something you have to do, because it's something that you already have been doing for 2 years. And before NS, I was a scrawny dude. I wasn't athletic in any way. So after national service, I had all the freedom that I wanted to do, right? And I never realized that part of me to be evident. And then when I was working at Waterworld, when I was working at Universal Studios Waterworld, it was a very physical job with a very, like a lot of there were a lot of physical aspects that I needed to have in order to perform that job well. So when I did that, it gave me the same endorphins as I was exercising. But when I became a full-time comic where you only work at night, and in the day you do fuck all, right? You don't do anything. You're either doing something like this or non-physical stuff. It was fun for the first 2 weeks, and then after the third, fourth week, I felt damn depressed. Dude. I was like, I don't know why I started feeling depressed, and I couldn't figure it out. Like, I couldn't figure out why, I was not myself. I couldn't figure out why, like, I just wasn't happy with a lot of things. And then I went to, I said like, oh man, I've always wanted to do Muay Thai. This is like 3 years ago. So I always wanted to do Muay Thai. Maybe I should go to this gym. I went to this gym called Juggernaut Gym. I don't know if you've been to Juggernaut, but Arvin, this guy that runs it, it's a pretty dope gym. So I went there, and then I started doing Muay Thai, and after that I felt great. I felt great. I walked downstairs and I felt like, wow, I feel like I finally did something today that was worth I feel like I was progressing in doing something. So ever since then I was like, yeah man, I'll keep doing this just to feel that lah.
But is it just exercise, or is it like, because I mean the act of like punching and kicking is very innate in our humans as hunter-gatherers. Do you think that also gives you that high as well, that act of like releasing the tension that
dude, that's possible, man. That's highly possible. That's highly possible. And at the same time, I feel like when I feel, I don't want to sound like a douche every time I'm saying this, but when you sweat it out and you really put like when you really utilize, like for me, if I utilize my body in that sense, I feel like I'm really doing something that is beneficial to me. And that's the weirdest thing, right? Like for stand-up material and exercise, it doesn't reflect. It's two different aspects of life where you have to sort of force yourself to do if you want to progress. Let me give you an example. Like I would go to 3 hours of Muay Thai boxing and whatever, right? I would just forget about everything. Just think about combinations and kicks and dodges and things and kicks and dodges and runs and lifting weights or whatever dodges. Like I feel so satisfied. But you get me to sit down on a computer and tell me first you gotta finish this bit, this 2 minute bit. You gotta think of a 2 minute bit. To get into that zone is so hard for me, dude. Like I have to write my material by being on stage and testing it on stage. I feel more comfortable testing it on stage and just going at wherever the fuck I'm going and see where I land and come back and remember that and going back and see where I land and come back. And you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As opposed to being like you right now, sitting in front of a laptop going, I gotta think about what's funny and write it down word for word. And the weird thing is, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to write like that. But I find so much trouble doing that as opposed to spending 3 hours in the gym. So I don't know if I'm lazy or not, man.
No, but I think there's no one way to do
right?
things, right? Yeah. In fact, certain times I think I try and write too much by just sitting down and thinking.
Okay.
Maybe it's something that I should just keep talking to someone or record on voice or something. Because like it's not easy writing. Sometimes I also think like, fuck, I sit down a few hours, nothing comes out. So I think to each his own, man.
Yeah.
Cause
go ahead. Because I was talking to my girlfriend about it. I was like, I mean, I don't know if I'm a lazy person, because a lazy person wouldn't spend 3 hours in the gym, right? So
you know why you think you're lazy?
Why?
Because you watch Insta stories of people hustling 24/7.
Too much Gary V.
Yeah,
Gary V.
hustle
Shout
never
out to
stops.
Gary V.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gary V.
Like Fuzz, if you're fucking lazy, man.
Think about me. You're just fucking lazy. You already know the reason.
You can't sit down to write. Nobody gives a fuck about what you think. Just sit your ass down and fucking write. I tell you, it affects you, man. It affects you.
Oh my god, you met him, right?
Yeah, I met him.
How was that?
I think like what you see is really what you get,
Yeah.
which is awesome. He's always on.
Yeah.
But I think, in fact, he's less on in real life than he is in the video. Even for me, I think like what you see in the video is a lot more like, hey guys, in real life, I'm not like that all the time. But to Gary V's credit, I think he walks the talk. Because it was actually a setting where it was me, other people like Hirzi, Sylvia was there, and other influencers, even though I hate the term, was sitting down and just, he wanted to meet the influencers of Singapore, and we were just throwing him questions. And the way he responded to questions, right, fucking baller, man. Like whatever he said, you know like how we were saying Neil deGrasse Tyson is a good way of taking complex things and boiling it down to very palatable, bite-sized videos. Gary Vee is like that. And he did it for business questions, which to me I was like, wow, this is awesome. And he knows his shit, and like whatever he says in the videos about hustling and all that, he actually does it. Just from a few hours of interacting with him, right, I actually felt like energized.
Yeah, he has that gift, man.
Yeah, he has that gift.
He's,
He's quite inspiring, quite motivational, so full credit to him. But listening to him for 1 hour plus, in real life can. Like that stage, those videos you see, right? Wow, that one a bit. That's when I also think like, fuck.
You're not meant for it, man. You're not meant for it. You know why?
Then when I feel bad, then he says, fuck you, no one feels
no one gives a fuck about your feelings, man.
What would I do?
Nobody gives a fuck, bro.
Nobody gives a fuck.
You know why you can't stand it? Because it's only for the big dogs, bro. Yeah.
Yeah,
Big dogs bark and little puppies just fucking, hide behind a fucking hole, bro.
You know what I did for 13 years? I ate shit every day.
I ate shit.
I ate shit.
Shit.
You're not willing to eat shit, you're never gonna make it. God, I watched that, I'm like,
And you're looking at a bowl of feces going, ah!
No, but just now one thing you said, like you don't want to sound like a douche when you're talking about working out and feeling good.
Yeah.
Why would that make you a douche?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think
But is that this perception you feel that talking about that makes you a douche?
not my perception. I believe that a lot of people feel like, oh, you're rubbing your whole fitness, lifestyle in my face, man. Why do you gotta tell everybody you do Muay Thai?
Or maybe people respond to you on like
they don't, but that's a lot
feeling,
of that's the feeling, and that's a lot of like. People do come up to me and go like, I know you go to the gym. I don't have to pose, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really go to the gym, you don't need to pose. But I think it's just a post about what I do with my life, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the times where I do post it, it's because I'm excited about what I'm doing, and I am very excited about what I'm doing. A lot of the times I am. So I enjoy doing it, but a lot of people go like, man, it's very douchey, like going to the gym. I think it's because there's a lot of gym rats that ruin it for people who actually do it because they enjoy it. Like they go like, yeah, man, what you doing with your life, man? I'm in the gym, I'm working 24/7. This is how, man. No, I'm being productive with my life. You're not supposed to make that kind of comparison to make other people look like shit, like make other people feel like shit. Because people have different priorities in life, and people have different choices in life. If you choose to be like that, because dude, the only reason I do Muay Thai and the only reason I do martial art is because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel secure. It makes me feel somewhat manly, right? It covers that aspect of my insecurity. Like I have insecurities, and the insecurities will probably, teeter around the fact that I don't feel like, because I was bullied in school, so I don't feel like I'm very tough, I don't feel like I'm man enough, I don't feel like and stuff like that. So doing Muay Thai covers that, going like it's okay, now it's fine, now I don't feel like that anymore, right? Because I've sparred with people of different shapes and sizes, and there were times that I could actually take them on, so I'm like, okay, so it feels good. So now I feel secure about that, and it helped me. So I feel like martial arts was something that I took that helped me along the way, and I feel so good doing it. But I don't like the people that go to martial art gyms or any kind of gyms and just try to make other people feel bad for not going. Like, why would you do that? And that's why those kind of people spoil it for people who really enjoy the change in their life. That being that change in their life, right? Like, I wouldn't feel like, okay, I used to have body image issues, right? So and it whatever people say about like, oh yeah, but you're skinny or whatever, it's real for people who are different. There are people who are huge and don't give a fuck about how they look, and they embrace it. But there are people who are not so huge but still feel like that. So it's real, like it's psychology. It's psychological, right? Yeah. So but because of that, I feel like now if I feel like, oh man, I went for a Muay Thai session today and I ran, so it's okay, I can eat whatever the fuck I want,
Yeah.
Like, I won't feel bad about it. But back then, if I didn't do it, every time I ate, I feel like, I feel like shit. And it's stupid when you think about it, because you attach so much emotion to it. Like, if you were to detach yourself and just look at it in a logical point of view, be like, why the fuck are you even thinking like that, right? Just live your life, lah. What the fuck? Who cares? Nobody cares if you're fat, dude. Nobody cares if you're skinny. Nobody cares of what you look like. You care. That's all. Nobody gives a fuck, dude. Right? People will still walk up to you and talk to you and not, oh, don't talk to him, he's fat. He's walking away. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's gonna do that, right?
Yeah.
But it's just your own paranoia, dude. So martial arts has helped me get over a lot of those things,
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it has helped me get over a lot of those things. And now, whenever like I'm outside with an altercation with not altercation, like any kind of misunderstanding with people, right?
You can hold your own.
Not exactly. I know that I can hold my own. I'm going like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Because I know not to underestimate anybody of any shape and size.
Oh, that's quite a nice insight.
Yeah, that's a very nice insight, because when you do martial arts, not everybody is ripped and not everybody is like muscular ass. But dude, I've like been in situations where like I'm walking to this guy, and this guy's a skinny, scrawny dude, right? And he's like a bald, scrawny ass dude, and I'm looking at him like, I could take him, right? And the next thing you know, when the bell rings, this guy's like a fucking cardio monster, and he's like out there slipping and dodging and putting in combos on me, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, pop, 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 pop. I'm like, whoa, this guy's a, and I found out that this is actually a pretty legit boxer.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just small, but he's a legit boxer, right? So when you have those kind of situations, you realize that, oh, look, man, this guy, he looks like this, but dude, he has massive kicks, he has massive elbows, he has massive combinations. So you don't judge people by how they, and there's big guys who can't do who can't do shit too. There's big guys who can't fight at all, dude. Yeah. So you learn not to judge people based on how aesthetically.
Oh, that's actually quite profound, man.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm sure there are people who now think they are the shit.
Yeah.
So is it the same side of a different side of the same coin, where some people maybe see the other way, where it makes them even more cocky because they think they can take on anybody. Like, these fuckers don't like.
Or they're always proven wrong.
Yeah.
The fighting world is very real. That's why I love it. That's why stand-up comedy and fighting are the two of the most real worlds. Yeah. That you can. Nobody laughs if you're not funny.
Yeah.
And at any point of time, if you slip up in a fighting in a fight situation, you're fucked, right? There won't be, we've seen the best of the best in the fighting world lose. Yeah. Everybody who's best of the best loses, right? Okay, Floyd's probably an exception that he hasn't lost. He is a very good defensive fighter, but at the same time, he has been knocked down.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. He has been knocked down before. Knocked out, no. Knocked down, yes. Right? Pacquiao has been knocked out. Muhammad Ali has been knocked out.
Conor has
been choked out. Yeah. Tyson has been knocked down. So everybody has their moments. So that's the beauty of the fight. It's so real. It's so real, and you don't underestimate anybody in that world. And everybody, to me everybody's accepted. You know, like you can have a guy like you, like I can think I take you. Next thing you know, you come out with some power. Like, where the hell is this?
Don't fuck with me first. I took taekwondo till yellow belt in secondary school.
Dude, oh my god! Remember when that was the shit in secondary school? Yeah, like,
primary school. Yeah,
don't mess with him. No, you take taekwondo.
Taekwondo, fucking yellow belt. But you never know in a fight, what? Right?
I've been in a lot of sparring situations with bigger guys and smaller guys and all that, but I've never been in an actual fight, and I don't ever want to be in an actual fight because it's stupid.
Your body is fragile, man.
It's very stupid to be that. If I would suggest that if anybody were to have a problem with me, like if they really want to have a physical altercation, I'll say like, okay, we'll put gloves on and we'll fight in the ring lah. You know, I wouldn't want to like, hey, outside, come on, whatever. I was like, if you really want, then we do it proper. You know, in my mind, but it's never been. I think that's the best way to solve any issue.
You just compare who got more Instagram followers, you win one.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's that kind of like. And there's a possibility that I will lose in that ring too, right? So if I do lose, then alright, man. Then I guess we have, it is what it is. At least you did it nice, And that's the best thing I feel like about martial arts. It's like that you explore what the human body can do and the extent of the human body, and it doesn't necessarily reflect on aesthetics. Yeah. So I love that about. You look at the UFC fighters or the heavyweights, a lot of them fat, but they got massive knockout power. Like this guy Roy Nelson, proper fat, proper.
I think I've seen it.
Beer belly guy, but
beer, right?
But that guy's got massive punching power, dude. Yeah.
I think even for me, like I used to, I played a lot of sports like soccer, hockey when I was young, but I hated running.
Sure.
Then once you get older, like getting a group of 10 people to play soccer, it gets harder. So I started doing more running, and that's when my whole appreciation for exercise also changed. Like earlier when I was young, I was like run for time, run for distance. Now, right, if I go for a run, right, I just say okay, I'll run for 30 minutes. Doesn't matter the time, doesn't matter how far I run. I need to enjoy it. And that's why I also realized exercise for me, I would say it's somewhat spiritual, as cheesy as it sounds. Because like what you said about pushing your body, right? Yeah. I love stuff that pushes my limit beyond the point where I cannot even understand. Like I did the Subaru challenge years ago.
Oh no!
Yeah, I was one of those.
What the fuck, Haresh?
And I didn't.
Hey, tell me about it, man. How was it, bro? How was it?
And I didn't.
I've always wanted to know because, like, how the fuck you can't do anything, lah? So
you can't fucking do anything.
So you can't piss,
Every 6 hours you get a 5-minute break.
What? Oh, you get the relief.
Yeah, you get the relief.
Then you gotta be same where you put it.
Yeah. So what happens is, and I didn't do it just once. I did 3 fucking times.
You lost all 3 times, lah.
Thanks, But I got second. I got second 1 year. Yeah.
What does second place get? Nothing.
That year I got 5,000. I think in recent times they don't even give a prize to second, which is fucked up.
How long were you there for?
75 hours, 36 minutes.
75 hours, so that's 3 days.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
And Terence was my number 1 supporter. He was there every year.
Dude, so what were you? What were you? Replenishing on?
You can't actually have external stuff. Like every 6 hours you get a 5-minute break. You go into the tent and they give you like a food, like a bento box. They got apples, bananas, coffee, 100 plus, water. So in 5 minutes you need to eat, you need to drink, you need to poo, pee, everything, and get back out there to your assigned spot, which is predetermined at the start.
5 minutes is so short.
You'll be surprised what you can do, man.
Really?
Yeah, I was very surprised with what. So my normal routine would be go there, grab like 2 glasses of water, grab food, and while eating have the masseurs who are on hand to kind of massage my arm. Eat in like 3 minutes. Then if I need to poo, I'll give maybe 2 minutes. If I need to pee, yeah, I tell you, because you concentrate it to the point where it's just and you're done.
Wow.
Yeah. So what amazed me about a competition, right? Because objectively, I think it's fucking stupid. 400 guys spread out on 10 cars, 40 people per car. It starts off almost like crotch to butt.
Yeah.
People just standing, and these people you have never met in your life.
Right.
And it starts at 1 p.m. on a Saturday, and you just stand there, and it's so.
What if you're taller? Then it's harder for you, lah.
So what I don't like about a competition is there's a lot of factors that are out of your control.
Yeah.
The worst position is the vertical position on the window.
Right.
Because you're working against gravity.
Yeah.
So once you get that, you already know you're kind of
fucked
not
up.
in a good spot, lah.
Yeah.
On the hood is fine. But if you're taller, you just have to deal with it. And how you get assigned is at the start, you pluck like in a ping pong ball pit, you pick up. If it's got a number, you're in. If it doesn't have a number, you're out, lah. I think now maybe it has decreased in popularity, but when I did it, every year maybe 1,000 people would show up, 400 people get selected. So thankfully, all 3 years I went, I got all 3 lah.
Wow,
Yeah.
75 hours, dude.
75 hours.
So were you ever in the window position?
I had the year I got second, it was at the top of the windscreen. So inclined, so somewhat working against gravity, but your whole arm, I tell you, like, my mind and body went to places I cannot fathom.
Really?
Like, I was hallucinating, dude.
Nice!
Like, I remember on, I think the third year, so first year I got 9th, second year I got 2nd, third year I got 6th. And throughout the real competition starts at about the 50-hour mark. Because that's when you've gone without sleep for a good amount of time. First year I thought I'll sneak in naps. I tell you, fucking standing up sleeping, right, is a myth. Because your knees will buckle. And like at the start, right, you can kind of make your way by moving your hand. Once it comes down to the final 10, they get one person who's standing next to you watching you. The final 5, they got 2 closed circuit cameras on your arm. So even you raise up like that, right, you got 2 warnings, then after that you're disqualified.
Wow!
Yeah, so
you can't even raise a finger.
You can't raise a finger. At the start maybe can lah, because 40 people around the car.
Yeah.
So when I first went in, right, I was thinking, okay, every man for himself, fuck that. But then I realized, right, the key to staying long is to keep as many people in your car for as long as possible.
Okay,
They are the
why,
biggest asset, because you talk to each other and you stay sane. Fighting it alone, right, is fucking impossible. So that was the number one takeaway I took from the first year. Like, you have to keep talking. You should try and keep as many people for as long as possible. The moment you're alone in your car, right, chances are you're fucked already.
Right.
So that was one thing. Then the second thing is, the goal is to never sleep. Sneaking in those naps, right, you're just groggy and it's just a fight against time every minute.
Yeah.
So you talk to people, and like, as much as I only spend in objectively very little time with them, I actually felt a bond with them that will last forever. Like the people on my car.
Yeah.
So then around 50
You
hours.
still contact with them?
No, but at every year we'll go back and see them. We see familiar faces. Hey, what's up? And we're all Facebook friends.
Right.
So at about 50-hour mark, when you start hallucinating, right, dude, it's a fucking trip, man. I remember being in Korea, Japan, and Germany, and at that point in time, I only been to Germany. Wow. Something about it made me think like, fuck, I'm in this country. Then like the stories you hear are ridiculous. One time it was just me and the other guy opposite me on the car. So whenever you see people looking like that, you know they're fucked. And as a other person on the car, like, we would just call each other out Hey bro, talk to me. What's 4 plus 4? So one guy, when I also was losing it, I think maybe 60-hour plus mark, he was like, bro, talk to me. I was like, why? He's like, dude, there's a fucking big Doraemon next to me. So just talk to me. Then I asked him, what's your name? Where you from? What's your birthday? What's 5 plus 5? What's 5 times 5?
Doraemon, huh?
Fucking big Doraemon. One girl on another car got disqualified because she thought her hand was a curry puff and she tried to bite it. I tell you, and like, as ridiculous as that sound, right, the year I got second, right, because it was on the windscreen, I had a terrible blister, which fucking hurting. And when I was second, I remember thinking to myself, this is the rehearsal. I'll just take off the plaster. So this is how I got disqualified. I did this, I took off the plaster and I put it back. And then the confetti went up the other side and I was like, what?
Wait, plaster. Why was that plaster?
At the 5-minute break, I put a plaster because the blister was just fucking going insane.
Right.
So that's what happened. And my aunt took a video of it. There's a video of it somewhere online where you see me do this, and that's how I lost.
So why did you think you have to take out the plaster again?
Because in my mind, I thought I was at a rehearsal for the fucking competition. And I remember thinking through that I'm at a rehearsal. This is all not the actual competition. It's fine if I move my hand. And that's how I got disqualified.
Wow.
So it after that, right, I was like, fuck, there's something magical there that where you push your body. For me, that was your body can take it, but your mind is fucked.
Yeah.
Then after that, I started doing, for a while I was doing long endurance, so I did an ultra marathon in Iceland. So at that point in time, my mind is okay, but my body is fucked. So it's like, those kind of things, right, really blow. In fact, I haven't done one for about 3 years. So I feel the itch to do something.
No, you push yourself to both extremes, man. You just find out things about yourself that you don't know, dude.
And, that's why for me it's like quite spiritual, because then after that, right, after running like the ultra marathon, running 2K, why you want to rush through it? Just enjoy it, you know.
What, you mean about the marathon?
Yeah, the ultra marathon.
Yeah, unless you're trying to win something or you're trying to fucking
I've
hit
already
the timing.
accepted the fact that there's no way I'll win that. No way.
Because people who really want to win that, wow, dude.
And like genetics, like the guy who won it, he's like this 1.95 meter guy. Every stride he takes, I'm like just like fucking 5 strides. So there's no way I can beat him. And my life is also not an endurance runner by profession.
Sure.
It's just, we did it in Iceland, 250k. Over
250k,
Over 7 days. You carry all your
Sleep
stuff.
how?
What you do is you start off at the start, everyone goes, and then when the next campsite you go, the volunteers pitch tents for you.
Okay.
So you literally go there and you sleep. But you carry all your food, all your equipment, they give you water.
Yeah.
So you start off with maybe 13 kilograms and you run about 40 plus K every day, so like a marathon every day. But in Iceland, man, and Iceland is a whole different planet.
So how much weight did you lose at the end of 250K?
I think I lost about 3 kg, 4 kg. But it's the kind of weight that you put back quite easily.
Yeah, but that's crazy endurance, dude.
But I mean, anything I think you train for, anyone can do it, because just by walking, right, you can complete it, if you walk fast. The main thing is to not get injured.
Yeah, but at that point of time, you probably didn't even have the kind of communication tools to talk to the people back home and stuff like
you don't.
right?
Every day you send a couple of emails at the booth. But part of what I liked about it is also you disconnect, man. You're in fucking Iceland. So those kind of things there's always something about exercise, something about pushing your body, right? For me, it's a very important part of just figuring out how your machine works, and what it's capable of.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's so cool, dude.
Yeah.
That's so cool that you went to both extremes of physical pushing and mental. And I think that Subaru, I've always thought of how I would be if I did it.
I recommend everyone try it.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone underestimates how long
the heat must have killed you, dude.
It kills you.
The heat. Have people died from it before?
No died, but you get people come 50-hour mark. You get people wheelchaired out. Terence saw quite a few people getting wheelchaired out. Right? The wheelchair they just collapse.
Faint.
So what was your preparation going in, man, into Subaru
I tried to sleep more the few days prior. I also don't know how to prep. And
how do you prep for something like that? It's a mental prep, dude.
It's something, I knew I would be good at it for whatever reason. So that's why first year itself I got 9th. I was quite disappointed actually. Because I was thinking, fuck, at the 9th I was good, but then my hand, I think I fell asleep and it slipped and I got disqualified.
Yeah.
So that's where, but to prep, right, I think unless you go to David Blaine extent, where you really rehearse 60 hours, you're trying to stay, I just try to sleep as much as possible.
Second, wow, man.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
So it was a awesome experience.
So he wins the car,
Yeah, he won the car, but you don't get COE.
Okay, so you gotta pay for COE.
So it was damn funny. There was one time, I think when I did it, it was a 10th year, and then one night they brought back all previous 10 winners, right? And all the way, you don't get a COE with it. So the host was like, okay, so tell us how you enjoying your car. They're like, I sold it off because no COE. So I was like, okay, go to the next winner. Oh yeah, I sold it off. All 10 of them, right? No one kept the car. Because the COE for a Subaru, I think at one point it was a Subaru WRX, maybe 1.8, 2 liter. At the height of COE, that would have been 60K, maybe 50K.
60?
Yeah, COE reached at some point, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So most people sell it because even if you sell it slightly below market, you still get a hefty amount. But to be honest, right, if it's not for the car that I did it.
It's for the endurance.
Yeah, and I think most people who do well, they don't do it just for the car.
Now if you want a car, you just be an Uber driver. It's so much
No,
easier.
but that's crazy. Subaru, you actually get a Subaru, right?
Yeah, you get a Subaru.
Yeah, but for real, I can't even fathom myself going through that. I think that must have changed the way you perceived a lot of things in your life and the way you did a lot of things in your life going through that kind of challenge where you're like, dude, I've stood with my hand on the car for 3 days.
Yeah.
So withstanding this issue is nothing for me.
Yeah.
Right?
It does affect the way you look at things.
Right. You use that. You will use that as comparison most of the time, right?
And also what you can do in 5 minutes, you'll be surprised what you can do in 5 minutes, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. So actually watching it, I think it still happens every year. Now the contest rules have changed to make it a lot less you take a picture of your palm, you get a better position, which I'm like, fuck that. I like
take a picture of your palm?
Yeah, so in the run up to the event, because positions, right, because of where it happens in front of Takashimaya, certain cars, the front row gets 3 hours more sunlight a day on you, which makes a huge difference.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I think they have competitions where in the lead up, you take a picture of your hand on the Subaru, the photo with the most number of likes will get this position, which is the best position.
Then you can move
No, so beforehand you get assigned that in the shade and all, or close to the border, which is important because you get human interaction Wow. So once it becomes more about that, to me it's it's not really a competition. I like competitions to be as level playing field as possible, even though genetics itself is not level playing field. But as far as possible, keep it level. So that's where the appeal. I kind of lost a bit of appeal, but I still recommend everyone try it. I'm not plugging the competition because I got no association to them.
Yeah, we got no association with Subaru really. We don't really.
I
mean, they could give us a car if they want. We will review your car, Subaru. Anytime I will review your car, but I don't know. I mean,
have you gone down to see it?
What, the competition?
Yeah, the competition.
I've passed by it before in Takashimaya.
Just observe for like 10 minutes.
It's. I think I really applaud you for that, because that is a mental barrier that I don't think many people can get past, dude. It's insane, dude. Like, wow, man.
That's why I think everyone should try it, because even if you go like, most people, I think they underestimate how long they can stay.
Yeah.
So once you go there, you stay for 10 hours, even in 10 hours on a car, right?
Yeah.
It's still a feat, you know. And part of exercise is also, I think, I try not to look at exercise competitively anymore.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be someone who's stronger. There's always going to be someone who's faster.
Always.
So in that way also, it's like, as long as you push yourself, right? I think that's important.
Yeah. What would you think that, like, would you really go through those lengths now to push your, you know?
Yeah.
How old are you now?
33, man.
33. So
Yeah.
we're pretty much from the same generation.
Yeah,
I'm 31.
same generation, yeah.
So, like, do you think at this age now, because, you know, we're in the entertainment industry and a lot of people are younger than us, Haresh, we gotta, you know, we gotta accept that, you know, they're younger and they're better looking, you know, and they're louder, you know, and they're more hip, you know. So what we can only sell is our experience.
Correct.
and our mature point of views.
Exactly.
Right? So, do you feel like at this age you still need to push yourselves to those lengths to get ahead in life and progress more in life? Do you feel that?
I would say yes, but not so much progress in the midst of others. In fact, it's every time I do that kind of thing, I come away with some new thing.
Sure.
So I am actually thinking of doing an ultra marathon again at some point in future.
Yeah.
If there's something like Subaru, I will be totally up for trying it.
Right.
Because when I was in the Iceland marathon, one of the finishers was a 66-year-old Japanese dude.
Dude, we should do a marathon together, man.
Dude,
Marathon,
marathon, ultra marathon, bro.
Fuck off, bro. I can't swim, Malay cannot swim, bro.
Ultra marathon, no swimming. That's the triathlon.
Right. So what's ultra marathon?
Just a fucking long distance.
How long?
250k.
Fuck off, bro. Why would you do that?
Okay, fine. Marathon.
Dude, yeah.
I will run a marathon with you.
Anything longer than 10k, take a bus, nigga. It's not meant for you to. You're not meant to travel that far on foot. And I'm just saying that human civilization has progressed to a point. Why would you do that?
No, you'd be surprised. There's this fucking good book called Born to Run, right? Where the whole theory is that humans are actually the only mammals who are evolutionary built to run, because we have the biggest gluteus maximus out of all mammals, no, in relation to your body size.
Question. There's also another theory that's saying that humans were meant to walk on all fours instead of just, you know, standing up and walking on both legs, because you can trip a human being, but you can't trip an ape because it's on all fours. So it's more stable.
Yeah.
Pull up that family that walks on all fours. There's a family
that walks on all fours.
Dude, there's a family in some, I forgot where, bro. There's this family that they train their children and their generation to walk on all fours. I swear to God, family that walks on all fours.
I think I saw the world record sprint of a guy on all fours.
That family. Dude, check that out. Yeah. Look at that.
What the?
Look at that.
They really do.
What am I? Yeah. So their whole family, bro, they only walk on all fours. Let's see if there's a BBC documentary about it. Yeah. Full documentary, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gonna bookmark that shit.
Bookmark that shit, man.
But what's their rationale?
I forgot. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I don't know why they do it. But let's just maybe put it up.
Is there
Background hypnosis. Debate exists as to the nature that caused the family walking, including controversial speculation in the form of is a syndrome, genetic throwback, or I don't know if they chose to walk like that, but they backroll, bro. All the fucking backroll, bro. All the way from.
Fuck, man.
Scroll down. See the hypnosis. The origin of the documentary is explained. Nicholas Humphrey at the Cambridge home of June 2005 receives a call from Dr. who has seen an unpublished paper, Turkish professor upon dominance in the family. Background. Okay, so it's just them visiting the family. Okay, yeah. So more commentary on origins of bipedalism. Is that what it's called? Is that what it's called? Bipedalism? What does that mean?
Is it walking on all fours?
Bipedalism.
Yeah.
Do you think I don't know if it's a conscious choice, but yeah. So anyway, back to our topic. Like you're saying that human beings, you know.
Because the book was really good because it actually anchors it down in some scientific some scientific facts. So like the gluteus maximus, humans have the biggest gluteus maximus in relation to their body size across all mammals.
Sure.
And apparently humans are the only mammals that can respire and run to the point where it's over long distances.
Right.
So what these tribes in Africa used to do, which backs the theory of why humans are born to run, is that how they used to hunt, is that they used to chase a gazelle to the point where it collapses from exhaustion. So they would just run fast enough to get the gazelle to like just sprint, but then it'll stop. Sprint, stop, sprint, stop. And after a while, the gazelle just collapses. And after 2 to 3 hours of that sort of running, that's how they kill. So I think there are still tribes in Africa that do endurance hunting.
Yeah.
So it's about the guy talks about that, and he also goes to this Mexican tribe called the Teotihuacan, who running is part of their culture. So to celebrate someone's birthday, they'll run like the family runs 100K together.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So it's fucking fascinating.
Like what, barefoot or?
They used to run barefoot, but then now they've improvised by using rubber tires and creating like 3 centimeter thick flats and just running.
Right.
So
for 100 kilometers?
100
non-stop?
kilometers, yeah, non-stop.
How?
So it's part of their culture, part of their festivities.
So that means human beings can you can sort of tailor your body into being able to do that.
Yeah, I think it's the way you
condition
run
your body,
also, the way you run. So
Yeah.
that story was very interesting because he ended up bringing Scott Jurek, who was at that point in time I think the best ultramarathoner in the world, to run an invitational race with the people from that tribe. And I think he lost to the best runner in that tribe. So the whole book was fucking fascinating because it talks about how running is part of their culture. And that's how for them you get old people running, and it's just part of their culture, and why humans are kind of born to run.
Yeah, we should run a marathon. I've never ran a marathon in my life. I've never ran a marathon in my life. We should just do 10K first. See how
No,
it goes. Fuck, bro.
Fuck lah, go home or go.
Why? Look at this dude. Okay, so you gotta go hard.
Have you run 10K before?
Of course lah.
Okay, then 21 lah. Do half.
Okay. 21.
Okay, I have a thing about organized marathons because I hate waking up at 3 a.m. waiting with 40,000 people to run. I'll plan a route 21K.
You plan the route,
Yeah.
21K. We gotta get that on video too.
Yeah.
Terence. Yeah.
No, but you cycle or something at the side lah, right?
I'll skateboard.
Oh, you do the one at the side.
No, it'll be on trail all. Singapore actually has really fucking nice trails.
Don't go so fast,
Yeah. No, how I like to run long runs with someone is at a pace where you can still talk.
Dude, we do a power video, right? Where it's like I've never ran a marathon in my life, a half marathon. Then we run through the whole, we get through the whole series in the sense where like how I feel halfway through and how I feel at the end and all that, right? So we get that all on video.
I'm writing that shit down, man.
We get that all on video.
We got it on record also.
Challenge, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it'll be kind of like a mobile podcast. Because we can run and talk. And so it's kind of like, because just watching people run is one thing, but also sharing our thoughts while running. And when you're tired, maybe you got less filter. You're like, fuck you lah, Haresh, fuck you. So that can be quite interesting.
So we can track it too, like 10 kilometers, how I feel.
Technology,
like.
Bro.
Yeah, 10 kilometers and 21 click. Anything I need to do to get ready, my knees or something, like, you know.
I think...
Do your knees get fucked after 250 click? It has to, right?
It's how you run also. So, okay, I think gradually, because that one I did train for quite a while.
Okay.
I was running with 10 kg of rice at McRitchie, just a few rounds.
Right.
So I think it must be gradual. So if you're running 21K, right, probably just 10, maybe 15K on your own, just to avoid knee issues. Do you have knee issues?
No, I don't. But wait, you were running with a 10 kg sack?
Yeah, of rice.
So
But that was for the ultra marathon. Like, if it's just running 21K, right?
Sure.
And I think even if you walk halfway, right, it's totally fine.
Well, that means you have quite good cardio endurance at this point.
At this point, I think maybe long distances can. I'm not fast, lah.
You're not fast.
Yeah, I'm not fast.
That's all I need. Like I don't fuck with fast runners.
Yeah.
I got nothing to prove, bro. So you win. Okay, so
halfway through, you just take me down and you choke me.
Yeah. Right. It must be a really cool thing to be able to run that long. Oh man, we'll set up a date lah. Yeah. How about before this year ends?
I'm going to Sri Lanka on the 28th.
Okay.
So sometime next year. Next week.
Next week. Huh?
No, maybe after your...
To celebrate the Netflix release.
Yeah, can we say we can bleep out the network?
You can't really say now lah.
Can't say now.
Can't say now lah, but you can say like.
But we can't even say there's something coming out lah.
Something coming out can. I cannot say.
Okay.
Cannot say.
No, then we can say something coming out. Your stand-up special coming out in January. That one can say.
No, something special is coming out in January only. I don't think we can announce what it is.
Something fucking special.
I just want to be safe because we're talking about US lawyers here, man. I don't think I have the capability of going up against
Malaysia,
them.
America next step, bro.
Oh, what the fuck, dude? Yeah, right. It's insane, Do you find it hard to be a comedian nowadays?
See, it's hard to say nowadays versus last time because I got no benchmark for comparison.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to be a comedian, period. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I can't say whether it's easier now or harder now than before.
Yeah.
The fear of people recording me and saying something and people getting offended, I think it helped that we started on YouTube and were exposed to hateful comments right from the start.
Right.
So now I actually love reading hater comments.
Have you ever been outside and somebody came up to you and, hey, you make fun of this? And we're like, no, the fuck.
Actually, no, man. Thankfully not.
No, huh?
Yeah. I would like to think it's mainly because our audience maybe is older and maybe more mature or something like that. So thankfully, I'm actually waiting for the day someone comes up and says, hey dude, why you made a fucking video? I'm damn offended. Okay, let's say I told you fast, I fucking hate your stand-up. How would you take it?
Yeah, then what you want me to do?
Exactly, right? Like if you say
you don't like my stand-up, don't come to my show.
Exactly.